morning, people. Welcome to TDA, the day after, your favorite news platform and the home of popular culture as defined by the culture. Do you know what? Today is a special day. It's E-Man Day. That's why I didn't tell you the date, because it's just E-Man Day. Happy birthday, Manuel.
Thank you. Much
How are you feeling? New age? Are you going to tell us your
man.
age, or is this still going to be a secret?
I'm 32. It's been,
I was like, oh my gosh, like, I was being age mates.
We're in the same age
We're in
bracket.
the same bracket, yeah, you know.
I'm on the end of it, but the same bracket.
Yeah, we thank God for life. All
There
in
we
all.
go.
How are you feeling?
Chijoke, don't tell nobody because you know he knows. Somehow. I'm joking.
This is the earliest Chijoke that's caught astray. This is the record. Morning, Chijoke. Yeah, how you feeling?
I feel alright, man. I feel good. I feel blessed.
That's good.
Yeah, man. I feel blessed.
That's good.
New chapter and that, so yeah.
So exciting, isn't it? Do you get excited about a new age?
Not really.
Yeah.
Not really.
I
But
feel like you've done it all though. You're married, you've got kids.
yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I've not done it all, but like,
Done certain,
yeah, so like
certain milestones.
where you're at now, you're building on things.
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean? So fair. Aw,
True, man.
happy birthday. God bless you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
How you gonna celebrate it?
Just with the family, man. Just, you know what I mean?
It's a
Just
family
keep it
thing to do.
Nice and small,
Gonna
intimate.
eat?
What? What's his birthday? He's vegan every day.
Yes.
There you
Special
go.
day,
Nah, man.
special diet.
To be fair, that's something I would do though. I have suya on my birthday.
I may look for a
As a
vegan
treat.
suya.
Yeah, good luck. Find that. I mean, I feel like whatever you find there, you just have to take it. Then you can't.
This is
You can
true.
never complain that it's not nice
Mm-hmm.
because it's just is what it is. But honestly, just get some suya seasoning, slap it on tofu.
That's true.
There's your suya.
Yeah.
Because it really it's all about the seasoning, really and truly.
100%.
A lot of people don't know this, and I always cringe when I go to like you know when you go to like an event and there's like people that make suya there.
Yeah.
Suya has peanuts in it,
Yes.
but then I never see like an allergy thing.
Never ever.
People could die. Because I remember one time I ordered shawarmas for my Nigerian shawarmas for. I got some for my brother as well, and my sister-in-law and my niece. My brother and my niece are allergic
Serious.
to nuts. But I didn't know because there was no indication that she was using that there was any suya season in there. Because otherwise we wouldn't. We always get them the nut-free one. These people are having an allergy, like throat closing up. I could have been responsible for the deaths.
God forbid.
It was crazy, and I had to message the girl. I was like, "Hey,
Yeah, man.
this is deadly. You can't like. What are we doing here?" But if you read the packet, it says nuts in there.
Yeah.
So every time it always freaks me out. And I had a friend who went to a festival one time and I was like, "Oh, I saw her take a picture. I was like, "Oh, you're allergic." She's like, "Yeah, I've been in hospital." Cause I was like, "You're allergic." I was like, "By the way, suya has da-da-da-da-da." And she's like, "Yeah, I've been in hospital." I said, "Wow, it's crazy.
Nah, it's too dangerous, man.
Very dangerous."
Too dangerous.
Sidebar. That was just sidebar. But yeah. Brent, how are you?
I am blessed and highly favored.
How are you feeling on Iman's birthday?
I feel privileged. I feel closer to him.
Oh, that's so sweet. Love that for you.
Nice one, Brent.
Yeah.
Nice one. Fair. How's everyone's weekends? What did we all get up to?
I had hella work to do, man.
You had work to do, man. Did you get it done?
Nearly finished.
Man, like, well done.
Yeah.
What did I do this week? Oh, one of my friends turned 30.
Oh, nice.
It's like I'm in the 30 era now. Everyone's just turning 30 up and down. It was a queer's birthday as well yesterday. Doing dinner. Like, everyone's just turning 30, so there's a lot of 30s going on.
Yep.
And then my friend was having a baby. So it was like a cute little double, and it was a surprise dinner.
Oh, nice.
It was really sweet, actually. And we've known each other. They're like my first friends from when I came to this country
Oh,
in
nice.
2008. Yeah, from secondary school. I was like, oh my gosh, like we're all so grown. And like some of them are married and like got kids. Just like, this is so cute. And I'm just here yapping. Which is always nice, but so lovely. wholesome stuff. But yeah, that was my weekend. And I worked out. My sister's, she's the fitness instructor.
Yes.
So she put me to work yesterday.
Oh, nice. How long has she been doing that for?
I think that just over a year, maybe not over a year now, maybe coming up to 2 years now.
Oh, sick.
But like, she's head discipline. She goes to gym every day of the week, and she's the first one there in the morning.
Every day of the week.
Every day.
Is it sometimes like
Her rest days are Fridays and Sunday.
okay?
But she does like multiple sessions in a day sometimes.
So if she has a rest day though, does she go in to train people though?
Yeah, so she's teaching. Yeah, she
Okay.
would. Yeah, she end up there. So like her discipline is crazy. Like her discipline for years now has been top tier. So even how she even got into it, she knows it's something she wanted to do, but she kind of got that encouragement and push from our body combat teacher, because she does taekwondo as well. She's done that for years as well. She competes and stuff. And
serious?
my combat instructor was like, no, you need to like, you are great. You should do this. Da, da, da. So she kind of helped her to get a certification and all that kind of stuff. And then now she's like, she can teach like other HIIT classes and stuff like that as well. Like, I'm so proud of her. Her discipline is second to none.
Sick.
So she goes to the gym every morning. 5:45, I hear her in the car.
This is it.
Every morning, 5:45, I hear in the car. And then so I think in the morning she does her weights, and then in the evenings she'll do like a cardio class, or she'll do some kind of cardio. So she's at the gym twice a day.
That's sick. Your family is
Every single
serious
day.
though, with the gym. Like your brother's a serious guy.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That she's actually, to be fair, she's actually mini Alex. Like, because he's been doing what he's been doing as well. I think since he was like 16 or so. So he's disciplined as well. Like, them two don't play. I go to the gym just to maintain what I got, child. Because one thing about me, we did a class yesterday. I said I'm getting pizza on the way home. Because, sorry, I can't come and kill myself. But no, they inspire me so much. Like, their discipline is second to none. So it's really cool, because now she's actually doing fitness. She's quit her job. She's actually taking the plunge now. So now she's doing fitness full time, and she's got good. She's already got some residencies at gyms and stuff. I think she's gonna end up being a West End instructor, because she's got 2 West End
already.
Yeah, classes that she's doing.
See that?
She quit like just over a month ago, or like 2 months. But she's been on, like, she doesn't play. So yesterday we're doing some content and stuff. If you got my story, there's a picture of us dying. Mid-set. But literally all of us bent over, hands on our knees. But she's really, really cool, and her energy is just top tier. I'm just so proud of her. Like, I'm so proud of her, man.
Wow.
But yeah, follow her, Holds Fitness,
man.
on Instagram.
Don't be a hater.
Don't be a hater. HULDS Fitness. Brent, you got a treat over there.
So, some of y'all may remember this.
Yes.
Yes. Oh yes.
Look at Darryl Blake.
I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
I thought you sent them out already. Or did you?
Very cheeky.
I'm not. I just asked this genuine question. You didn't have to say all of that.
On air.
Because when you asked, wonder why you stopped at 6.
I have about 10, right?
Okay.
I was given about 10.
Okay.
And I don't know who actually, like, donated.
Oh, to get one.
Darryl.
Yeah, but did they
yeah.
donate, or did you donate to get one of these?
It was attached to it. It was tethered to it.
You think so?
Yeah, it was.
No, I'm just pausing.
Yeah, I think they donated anyway, but
Yeah.
Darryl was like, hey,
Here's a treat that comes with it.
Yeah, I'll get some stuff for you.
So how will
I
we
need
know?
for them to contact me
Yeah.
and let me know.
Okay.
Yeah, those who know, obviously.
Yeah, but I'll be honest with you.
I have like 10.
If too many people can't come forward, then I need a screenshot of your bank account showing the outgoings.
I have like 10.
Okay, we got Darryl Blake though.
The last time
Every
I
time.
mentioned this, I said that I was going to send them
Yeah.
that
Your care
memorabilia
package.
also.
Yes, absolutely.
But obviously, I told them that because we'd open up the store soon, I'll just do it when it is I've done that because of the workload.
That's true, actually. That makes sense.
So, seeing as it's nearly done, I think I will hold on to the 10 until
and then
then.
add that into the
And
package.
then add it into the
that
package.
makes sense.
Yeah, and I add something extra too.
That makes sense, actually.
Yeah, but please still holler me.
Holla.
TJ, you see? Yeah, TJ was
Yeah,
definitely one
TJ
of the
definitely
person.
was. Yeah, I remember TJ.
Yeah. Did you watch TJ's video? He put a vlog, the first vlog he's ever made.
Nice.
And he was basically vlogging his rock climbing.
Ah.
Yeah, he has a community
Oh, nice.
of black rock climbers. And then he filmed himself going there and then chipsing and stuff.
What?
He was chipsing with them.
Chips and girls on the way up
They
to the
were
mountain. To me, that's love.
He
though.
would say he wasn't chipsing.
That would
It
get
just
me.
looked to me like the chemistry was there.
Multitasking and that.
Do you know what? That would get me there. Like, if in this, because in my mind, climbing up a rock I'm gonna try not to look like what I'm going through. But do you get what I mean? But if you can in this moment, fair, I hear it.
Bear in mind that it's indoor.
Oh, what?
Yeah, the rock climbing is
I
indoor.
thought they were in Kilimanjaro thing.
Not yet. Because
Okay, fair.
life is at risk there.
No, but isn't that like a wall up to here? Like this wall here.
There's beginner ones, and then there are
Advanced.
advanced ones.
Do you think I would want to go rock climbing on a date, actually? That'd be really fun.
This is what he put up there so that people could basically. I'm sorry. TG has a girlfriend, right?
Oh, Brent.
See, he wasn't flitting.
Oh.
At all. He didn't do anything. Can't blame me.
He wasn't.
He just
flitting.
climbed a rock.
The chemistry was just there.
There's no
But
chemistry.
you just could be the good host. That's what he was
There's
doing.
there's chemistry.
I hope that's okay, TJ. Let me know if that's okay.
TJ says not.
Wink, wink.
Bloody hell, mate.
But anyway, check it out for yourself. And
And you're
see
cheeky,
who's
yeah,
like.
because you know, like our community, they put their partners and whatnot on the show. Then you
Check-
wonder why
check
you
it
have
out.
asking for a friend.
Check it out yourself. It's in the Discord. I've even subscribed. That's how much I enjoyed
Oh, really
the
nice.
vlog. I'm waiting for the next one.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, big up Ed. He put the link in the chat already
Big up, Ed.
to TJ's channel.
Yeah. I really liked
Easy,
it.
guys.
And he's invited me to come along.
Oh, sick.
To rock climb.
There were a couple.
Would you do it?
Would I go rock climbing? 100%.
That's lit.
When I have time.
What the real?
You're never going to rock climb. You're never going to rock climb. You're not going to have the time. It's a very clever way of saying no.
Are you
Sorry,
asking
man.
me if it is I would actually physically go and climb rocks?
No, as in the one out there in the wild, innit, and not the indoor.
Have you gone hiking before? I've gone hiking before.
I want to go hiking.
I feel
Again.
like I have, but I don't remember when.
I think hiking is so much fun. I love taking in nature and stuff.
Taking in good air.
Yeah.
Mm.
Fresh. All right. Well, we're on the timer today. It's Iman's birthday, so he gets his wishes. And so we want to finish at 10:15. So that means wherever we are at the show, we're making history today. Wherever, even mid-sentence, the camera's off.
Immediate.
That's it. But anyway, let's get into our first headlines, please.
All right, people. Kemi Badenoch, she did it.
I can't believe it.
She did it, man.
I can't believe it. And it's annoying because it's like, I don't know how to feel.
Feel happy.
No.
That's how you're my sister. She did it,
She
man.
doesn't think I'm my sister, though.
No, she does.
She doesn't.
Let's give her a chance. Until she says otherwise, then
I don't know.
there could be.
Sorry, I have to do pick up Kelechi, as in the one and only Kelechi Okafor that we know.
Yes.
Because Sis's work rate. I saw the news, Kemi Badenoch. Next thing I saw Kelechi's Insta live. I said yes. What about Kelechi? And the captions were there. I said no, the work rate is different. Pick up Kelechi. Break it down, real good.
But yeah, man, Kemi Badenoch, she has promised to win back voters who have deserted the Conservatives after securing a historic victory in the party's leadership contest.
I think she's a token black.
The what?
She's a token black.
She's not. We're going to get into the topic of the day.
Didn't Boris call her yin yang or what was it called? Wing wang?
Wow. Wow.
Sam, he said he didn't call her that, but he said that basically she brings the yin to the yang in the party group. I said, so she brings colour. She brings flavour in there. That's what you mean.
Well, the 44-year-old becomes the first black woman to lead a major political party in the UK. Some years ago.
Before Dan Abbott. Anyway, sorry, I'm going to stop interrupting.
No, that's a good interruption.
I'm going to stop.
That's a welcome.
That's wild.
Thank you very much.
Wild.
There's a certain party that claims to be on our side. They've
And it
done this.
was never the party. No, but anyway, I didn't think you were going to go there. That's not where I was going. I'm stuck. I'm just not. Yeah, never mind. Just yeah.
Well, she defeated the fellow right-winger, Robert Jenrick, who's 42, by 12,418
wow.
votes. Yeah. Demolished him, man.
So a little racism would get you. Damn.
After a marathon contest to replace Rishi Sunak, who led the party to the biggest defeat in its history in July's general election. In a
That's
victory
rude.
speech. Can you imagine?
The biggest defeat.
They're bad, you know. They're
Because
bad.
he's rich.
But in her victory speech, Badenoch promised to renew the party and told sharing supporters it was time to get down to business. Ms Badenoch has also made her first senior appointment as a new Conservative Party leader. It's understood that Dame Rebecca Harris, MP for Essex constituency of Castle Point, will be the party's chief whip, replacing Stuart Andrew. Dame Rebecca's role as chief whip will require her to maintain party discipline and to try and ensure that MPs vote as Ms Badenoch would like them to. The 56-year-old has been the MP for Castle Point since May 2010 and supported the Leave campaign during the 2016 Brexit referendum. Next headline. Tomorrow's going to be a big day as well in America, man.
Listen. So that means we find out on Wednesday. Or how long does it take them to count the votes in all the states? Because the best states, boy.
That's true.
Maybe Friday then.
Or do we find out?
I just feel like people have been voting already though. Come on.
It's not already. I think we find out tomorrow.
Yeah, we should. On the same day?
I think so. Ooh, I'm not too sure. I need to look into that. But yes, Donald Trump and Kamala Harris are pushing their closing messages as they tour several swing states today, with just 2 days to go before America decides its next president. Trump's campaign is working to clear up his remarks about shooting the media as Harris dodges questions about her vote on the California crime measure. Trump has also made claims without providing any evidence of election fraud in Pennsylvania, while his opponents have accused the former president of using rallies to stoke suspicion over the election process. The latest New York Times Siena poll, external, suggests that this race is a nail-biter. Nearly every swing state sits within the margin of error, and a new poll in Iowa, where Trump won in 2016 and in 2020, indicates that Harris may have taken an unexpected lead there. And the polls basically suggest the race is still exceptionally close and more than 75 million people have already voted.
What's our guesses? I'm saying Kamala wins.
I think she wins too.
Brent?
I think she does it.
Why do you think she would win, Emmanuel?
I just feel like there's just a lot of media support, a lot of things that you need to secure victory, especially one that's so close, has shifted to her side. I feel like Trump support, it's going to be close, but I feel, for some reason, I just feel like his support is more niche. It's more like, okay, I'm a staunch Trump supporter, and I'm not too sure if he's won over those.
Like the liberals or people in the middle.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think, though, the Arabs, the Muslims, who probably ordinarily would be on the Democrat side, may go to Republicans or just not vote, or vote for somebody else, which may make it a bit harder for Harris. But for some reason, I feel like she's going to do it, man. Yeah. What about yourself, Brent?
I think that Trump may get it, and then when the mail-in ballots come in, it's going to swing, and then that's when civil war is going to ensue.
I can't believe we asked this question and you predicted the end of the world.
I think that is because everything that's like built up to this point, we've forgotten about is near death.
Yeah.
Brush, right? And
It's a brush indeed.
And I think that there are too many foul players involved, right? On both sides, by the way. But the Democrats, I think they have a vested interest, a long-term vested interest to keep the things currently ticking over because of what's happening in the Middle East, right? So I don't think Trump can be allowed to take office. I don't think that would be able to happen because they need stability over there. Whatever they're doing, they need it to continue.
You don't think Trump will continue that?
No, I think Trump will blow all up to the surface.
Serious?
I think that he's too much of a maverick. He's too much of a
wild card.
Yeah. To just roll over.
Yeah. And that's why I think also that's why I don't think he's gonna win. Because I think not that she's not great and stuff, but that aside, I think it's an intentional thing to keep Trump out of the office, especially after his first run. Like I've always said that I feel like with the American president, you're just a face of it. You're not actually in charge. Like I've never believed that. So I feel like with Trump, he's not someone that can be controlled. He's not someone that can be controlled. And I feel like he's there for his own. He doesn't give someone that. He doesn't think of party interests. It's like my own. This is what I want to do, kind of thing. And I believe that if you're gonna be a party leader, you need to be influenced to at least a certain extent. He doesn't look like someone that can be influenced. So I don't think that he's gonna be, for those reasons.
There are so many talking points that the mainstream media aren't using on Kamala's part. There's a whole conspiracy running that she's not even black and she lied about her grandmother, right? And it has legs, but mainstream media is not even running it.
Because no one cares, bro.
But I do believe if they found out Trump was Russian, his grandfather was Russian.
It has to be like his great-great-grandfather.
He's all American, right? If it is, I don't think that they wouldn't be running it. I think that's what they were leading with.
That's a fact, Brent.
So I really believe the machine wants things to continue as it is. So I do believe Kamala will win in the end, but I do believe that there is going to be some unrest.
I do believe that. I do believe she will definitely win, but I think, not definitely win, but I feel like she'll win. But I know that there will definitely be civil unrest.
Yeah, some issues.
100%. Because look at the capital situation.
Yeah.
Do you understand what happened?
It's mad. It's mad.
Do you understand what happened there?
So imagine this. And he wins over a woman? Oh no. And a black woman or a non-white woman?
Yeah.
Gosh. Then people are getting their gears ready.
Man.
Oh well.
So that means we'll have more of the same in the Middle East and more of the same in Ukraine and Russia. Basically.
I believe so. And I think that's what the people who are in control, in charge, want right now. I don't think they want an interruption or disturbance to the force.
Oh, man. Well, I guess we'll see what happens tomorrow, man. Our next headline, the King and Queen of Spain have been pelted with mud and other objects by angry protesters during a visit to flood-hit Valencia. I remember the other day we were talking about some of the worst floods in Spanish history. Shouts of murder and shame were directed at the royal couple, Spain's prime minister and other leaders as they walked through the town of Peyporta, which is one of the worst affected areas in the region. More than 200 people were killed, for those who don't know, in the floods, the worst in Spain for decades. Emergency workers are continuing to comb through underground car parks and tunnels in the hope of finding survivors and recovering bodies. There's been anger at a perceived lack of warning and insufficient support from authorities over the floods. Footage showed the king making his way down a pedestrian street before his bodyguards and police were suddenly overwhelmed by a surge of protesters, hurling insults and screaming. It's sad, man, sad. Hopefully they can, find everybody as soon as possible, man.
It's horrible.
But that's it for our headlines, guys.
All right, well, let's get into our topic of the day.
All right, people. So, as we mentioned, topic of the day is going to be about Kemi Badenoch. It's going to be about her achievement being the first black person, not black woman, black person.
That's wild, you know.
Yep, to lead a major political party in this country. Obviously, I know everyone's got different views on Kemi Badenoch. Some people are like, oh, she's not part of the community, she's this. Some people say, well, she's black, so she's black regardless, whatever it may be, right? But I feel like it's important to actually talk about the historical significance of this, right? Because to me, me aside, everyone's pretty much for decades now spoken about how the Tories are racist. To this day, everyone says that. It's the same narrative that we hear. I'm not saying that they're not, right? I'm not saying the entire party is or isn't. That's up to you guys, right? But the so-called racist party has now chosen. So this was the people, the actual members of the Tory party, right? These people have chosen almost 100,000 of them have voted to choose a black woman to be the leader. This has not happened in Labour, which claims to be for the working class, for the minorities, right? And I want to ask this question. Do you feel like this is a genuine win, potentially for black people? Or do you feel like this is a symbolic representation of just more nonsense, more cover-ups to pacify the people? We're not really going in the direction that we actually want to. Or is this nothing to do with race? It's just the best person won.
I think on paper it's a good look. It's like, oh wow, like historical things in terms of diversity and whatnot. Mm-hmm. But then I'm interested to see whether or not she will actually make if next general election they will actually she'll be the one to lead the party for that. I think this is a shut up. It's like a shut up ring, but it's a shut up seat or position. Because they haven't really, even her own party haven't exactly been the most favourable to her. What was that other thing last time? And she won, and she was fourth. It was when Rishi Sunak won.
Yeah.
How do you go from fourth to one?
No, but to be fair, I don't think anyone expected her to be fourth anyway. Remember, she was up against some other white guys who had been military, what's the word? Backgrounds and all the stuff that these people typically look up to. But I think the only people that did better was Penny Mordaunt, I think. Yeah, I remember. Liz Truss and Rishi Sunak. So this is why she was the favourite in this one. But still people thought, no, Jenrick will win, or Tugendhat will win, or Cleverly will win. Yeah. She blew them out of the park.
Yeah, I think it's just I never trust anything that Britain does. I don't think that Britain necessarily cares about moving forward when it comes to race relations, because otherwise this would be the first ever black person ever. Do you get what I mean? I just think it's to appease and to make them look progressive, so that the next time they can get the black votes.
So you feel like this is maybe a collective thing from the Tories?
Yeah, I think it's a strategic thing. They're playing the long game because they won and they didn't expect. Sorry, they lost. Sorry, and they didn't expect to lose. So I feel like, and obviously there's always that thing about, black people tend to go with Labour. But obviously we can say our numbers are not da. But when you're the political party that wants to win, you want all the numbers, regardless of how small a percentage people might be. You want it still. So I think that this is just a strategic thing that they're doing. I don't believe she's going to be the one to lead them. I don't think Britain doesn't strike me as a country that will allow or wants a black female prime minister.
But would we not have said this about Sunak?
No. I wouldn't have.
So you feel like
Britain loves Asians more than love blacks. Yeah. Blacks are always at the bottom of whatever list you're coming up with. Like, bring in all the social groups, all of them. Yeah. All of them. Yeah. Black people are always at the bottom. So I wasn't, the Rishi Sunak one was going to happen. But I think with the Kemi one, it just feels like a shut up thing. Because when you think about it, even to the point you made earlier, like over Diane Abbott, who is Labour, who is loved by Labour, black people meant to vote Labour, but she was never the party leader. Yeah. Why is that? Because despite whatever party says that they are still British bred. Yeah. And it's still the British mindset, which is that this is our land. And so what we're doing, do you see what Andrew Tate said?
Yes.
Why should a Nigerian be that? And that's the joke, because that's why Kemi Badenoch is a joke, because no matter how much you think that you are in with them, you will never be in with them. You're always going to be seen as black first, and you're Nigerian first before you're British. Despite how many white husbands you decide to have, sis, you are they're always going to see you how they see you. So that's why it's just so comical that she goes against her people in the way that she does and dismisses slavery. The same slavery that even those people will tell you was bad. But you somehow, that your ancestors were actually picking cotton and were transported back and forth and whatever, you all of a sudden you don't see how bad it is. Okay, girl. I feel like it's a token thing. It's a token black girl in there.
And to be fair, I may have this particular number wrong, but I think, Brent, if you don't mind, can you check this, please? I think she spent the first 16 years back home, you know. I think she came when she was 16.
I spent 13 and every day I want to go back.
So how did it change? You know what I mean? But then again, maybe back home she was part of the elite to some degree. Yeah. To some degree. Not an elite, yeah. But, you know what I mean? Maybe her parents
possibly, actually.
Yeah. I don't know about her schooling and stuff back here here in the UK. But
yes.
16?
Yes.
Okay, thanks. So yeah, man, like, I'll be honest with you though, I kind of feel like it's a bit harsh on Kemi Badenoch, what a lot of people have been saying. I personally think it's a good thing. It might be my bias though, that she's a Yoruba woman, innit? So I want her to win.
But that's the thing though, I feel like she's a Yoruba woman, she hasn't got the Yoruba mindset though. So there's two those are two separate things. Because on paper she is that, but ask about the Yoruba people. You would hate to see what she says.
Yeah, I agree. That's true.
Do you get what I mean?
Yeah,
but,
that's true.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Like, to me, I just look at the whole thing of like.
I think she said that her worst experience was when she was in a majority ethnic country.
Oh. So Nigeria.
Her
worst experience in life was in Nigeria.
Yeah, but that just made to just speak to like the environment and whatnot.
She's a crazy woman. I don't know. Just can't help but laugh.
You know what? Sometimes, do you know what it is? I like when people read the room, because even if that's true, I believe everyone should tell the truth or whatever. It's like that whole, I hate to bring it up again, but it's like that whole Megan and Tory thing about whether you slept with him, didn't sleep with him.
Yeah.
You got to read the room. Even if that was truly your worst experience, you know what people are going to take from that.
Yeah.
Read the room, bro.
Mm-hmm. But isn't that maybe a good thing that she doesn't necessarily care about the opinions of people?
It's not, because she denies slavery and the impacts of slavery and all that kind of stuff anyway.
But that's because she genuinely doesn't believe it.
And that's crazy.
It is, but it's still her. You know what I mean?
It's her truth.
Her truth. You know what
but
I'm
that's
saying?
why, though, then people that don't want to support her, people that think she's a coon or whatever else it might be, that's their truth.
But is it
so
right?
She can't cry
us?
About it.
But she'll be the first one to tell you she don't care.
Of course she don't.
You know what I'm
She
saying?
don't. She'll care when her party don't get the vote that they put in there to obtain, though.
Of course.
Because they definitely put her in there so she can try and convert some black people. But they don't know they put the wrong black in.
But I'm glad you said that.
We don't like that black.
But this is the thing. I don't think it's necessarily that, though. Because I feel like the Tories should know that black people typically don't really, in a respectful way, care for Kemi Badenoch and Kwesi Kwarteng like that. You know what I'm saying?
But you know what? They won't, though.
If you put in that guy, you know the guy from
I know
is it from Tottenham? What's his name?
Yeah, I can't remember his name. Yeah.
I could maybe.
He's more relatable.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
But you know what is? But the thing is, the reality is that the white people don't see it that way. That's why race relations amongst black people is always funny, because to white people, we're just all Negroes, like, so they wouldn't know that we don't like her like that. Their ears are not down to the streets because as far as they're concerned, that's a Nigerian woman. She's black.
Yeah,
the blacks will love her. They've never been able to read the room when it comes to race stuff.
Yeah.
So like, I don't see them being aware enough that we wouldn't like her. Or they might just think that we might just ignore it and just go for the fact that she's black and we just celebrate. Because again, this country loves to give black people crumbs.
Yeah.
And then we make the most noise about it. So I feel like they really gave us a crumb and they thought, oh yeah, they're about to go crazy. Not with her.
Yeah, I hear it. Good morning, Maggie. Maggie said, doesn't you man think it's a bit harsh, Kemi's thoughts on colonialism and the dismissal of racism? 100% I do. Remember, I don't agree with Kemi on a lot of things, but I still see a black woman, right? And I feel like this is where sometimes in our community we get certain things wrong. Like, we're so quick to, again, pick certain allies that you think are allies above somebody that looks like you. The other day, Brent, you basically said, you came to a realization that, wait a minute, not all black people think the same. You remember the whole thing about Chris Cabra and how black people were basically saying, basically had the view of not necessarily supporting the police, but seeing him in a particular light and saying, wait a minute, we don't want to be associated with that sort of thing when it comes to being black, right? And you pretty much was talking about how you can now understand why certain black people support people like Trump, right? In the same way, I feel like there's just certain black people that support people like Kemi. Like, people need to realize that conservative views are different to conservative party views. They're not always aligned. And when it comes to traditional families, when it comes to just certain things, you're going to get more of that support on the right. You know what I'm saying? The other day, if I'm not mistaken, again, if I'm mistaken, I apologize. But I heard someone say that Dawn Butler said something along the lines of, kids are not born with any biological sex. Now, for a lot of people,
what are they born with?
I don't even know. But this is sort of narrative that comes from the left. So if you're a black person and you don't typically subscribe to that, why are you necessarily, in that particular context, gravitating to people who do subscribe to that? What I'm basically trying to say is, I think there's things that we agree. If we're being honest and we actually do our due diligence, you'll find that there's certain values and stuff that you agree on both sides. And to kind of just rubbish somebody and render them useless because they're on the right, because they don't typically agree with you on the things that you care about, I think is a bit harsh, right? Granted, the energy's always been the same for someone like David Lammy, right?
Yeah.
But did you guys hear about the thing that happened over Twitter with Dawn Butler and retweeting somebody?
Sorry, just before you continue, she said that children are born without a gender and that gender is assigned at birth.
There you go.
Can you know what?
Children are born without a gender and gender is assigned at birth.
Yeah. So when you come into the world, you're nothing until we choose and say, oh, that's a boy, that's a girl.
But then isn't the word genitals, does that derive from gender?
So I think it says to clarify, biologically, babies are born with a sex, male or female, based on physical anatomy, while gender refers to societal roles, behaviors, and attributes. Butler's comments were meant to highlight the complexity of gender identity and how it can differ from the biological sex assigned at birth. So I don't know if it is that is wild.
Because in my mind, I'm thinking like, say for example, you got a woman that's a tomboy.
Yeah.
Gender would dictate that she should be feminine and should be this and be that. However, her gender, she might not be feminine. She might have masculine energy. However, though, because I thought you were saying that they're not born with biological sex. That's different to the gender situation.
Yeah. But you have to remember, prior to, let's just say 10 years ago, nobody subscribed to this openly like this.
Yeah, but then
people always said gender and sex is the same thing. It's only today certain movements are basically saying, okay, this is separate and you can choose it yourself. And I'm not here to obviously say that's right or wrong, but I'm trying to say that that's typically a narrative that you hear from the left. And a lot of us grew up in backgrounds, environments where we never subscribed to that at all.
Yeah.
But decided that basically would be against that, i.e. would be the right. Remember, Cenat was saying the other day that I'm trying to protect men and women in NHS and hospitals and certain things. You are your biological sex. So you would get that from the right. You wouldn't get that from Labour.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm only just using that as an example just to say that I feel like there's so many views that we would share from both sides. And just because she sees a particular thing as whatever isn't I don't think it's the biggest thing in the world. I disagree with her vehemently on those things about British imperialism, colonialism. I think it's a terrible take. But that's still her opinion.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And for us to kind of be like, okay, cool, she's this, that, and the third because of it. So basically, like what happened over the weekend was somebody by the name of Nails Abbey, right? He basically said, warning. So this is what he tweeted on X. He said, warning, 7 rules for surviving a Kemi Badenoch victory. And he said, today, the most prominent member of white supremacy's black collaborator class in Britain is likely to be made leader of the Conservative Party. Here are some handy tips for surviving the immediate surge of Badenochism, i.e. white supremacy in blackface. This is strong words, right?
Is it? She gets to say everything that the white people in her party that feel that way can't say. She gets to say all the racist stuff that they're not allowed to say, that they would get cooked for saying, and that people will call for their resignation for saying. She's their mouthpiece.
Yeah.
So, like, just because you're in black skin doesn't mean that you can't also be pushing white supremacist ideologies and stuff or messages. You don't get a pass just because you're black. And this is the problem.
100%.
Like, she can't get a pass because she's black. If she's saying all the things that she's saying whilst ignoring the millions of people, black people, who are still suffering the effects of slavery and stuff to today, and she's not going to care about what they're saying, and she's got to take whatever people call them. If they call you a house Negro, if they call you a racist, if they call you a white supremacist, if they call you a member of the KKK, sister, you got to just take it, because that's what you've said. You've said things about people as well that they found harsh, and people will say things about you that you find harsh as well, and everybody will just have to take it.
But is this kind of like hypocritical? Because to me, and the reason why I'm saying this, and again, you guys know, in case the listeners don't know, like we like Dawn Butler here, right?
Yeah.
So big up Dawn Butler. But I will say that I feel like to some degree, it's not necessarily fair. Listen to what David Lammy said, right? This is about his appointment to being the Foreign Secretary. He said, I will take the responsibility of being the first Foreign Secretary descended from the slave trade incredibly seriously. my Guyanese parents would not have believed their skinny son in NHS prescription glasses who got stopped and searched on the streets of Tottenham could end up reaching the Foreign Office. The man is proud to represent that particular office, right? And all good to him. But somebody who's black also and reached a higher office, leader of the opposition, we're criticizing. Is it because of the same party?
Bear in mind, the same people are calling this woman a tool of the enemy.
Yes.
Also say that with Lammy. So don't go on as
no.
though it's
No,
not.
no, but what I'm saying is that Don Butler is in the same party as David Lammy.
Yes.
And, like, obviously, I'm not expecting her to say something crazy about David Lammy, innit? But in the same way, he's happy to be in that position for Labour and represent the country in that position, right? And nobody say, oh, he's a sellout. Well, when I say
Yes,
nobody,
they are.
no, I'm not talking about us. I'm talking about us. I'm talking about our community. I'm basically saying Dawn Butler, again, she may not say this outwardly, right? But if, for example, she became the Foreign Secretary, like, I'm pretty sure she wouldn't like it if we came out and said, well, you know, she's just part of the system. She's a white supremacist and blackface. When somebody else who's also black, different views, fine, but someone else who's also black is in a higher position as the opposition leader, who potentially could be, if she plays her cards right, does what she has to do, kick Labour out and become the first black prime minister.
Sorry, so what you're saying is that how can Dawn Butler call this woman a coon but not David Lammy?
Well, let's not put words in her mouth. She didn't call him a coon.
No, what I'm trying to paraphrase what sentiment you're trying to convey.
Yes.
Is that what you're saying?
To some degree. But I'm also saying I don't expect her to because it's the same party anyway. But I am basically saying it's the same sort of achievement. That's what I'm saying. And if in your own party, a black man can come out and say, I've done this, I've achieved this, amazing. And she can do the same thing, but just be a Tory. The issue isn't race. The issue is the party.
No. She probably doesn't see David Lammy as a bloody coon.
But why? Why? What's he? If anything, he's a
maybe it's because they're in the same party.
But that's what I'm saying to you. But like to me, that's not seeing things accurately. Then you know what I'm saying? He's a tool. Someone can say he's a tool for Zionism.
Let me not say that she doesn't see him as coon. She probably does.
We don't know.
Yeah. No. I'm not even going to say that I have inside information.
Yeah.
But I do believe that she holds counsel and talks about this man. But she would never do it on air because she's part of the same party.
100%.
Right? So the opportunity to basically talk to the opposition and also point out that this particular person is probably put there to do the bidding of the system, the racist supremacist system, would be like a swing, about a swing. And obviously the whites aren't going to do that. So they might be like, hey, Dawn, you could say it now. Go. Because it's become identity politics again, hasn't it?
Yeah, that's basically it. I need to read. In fact, a lot of people are asking basically, do I want a celebration? It's not that I want a celebration of Kemi's achievement. It's none of those things, right? I understand that a lot of us in our community don't support Kemi Badenoch at all. I'm not trying to convince you. I don't care. The only thing I care about is that we choose somebody who's going to put certain policies in place that's going to make life better for black people and working class people. That's a lot of our background. That's all I care about.
And you believe that she's able to basically do that?
Yes.
But based on the history of her views, you feel she's going to have black people in mind when it is that she's making policy?
Absolutely not. Never said that at all.
But by default, you're saying it's going to have black people? Potentially. Can I have a couple examples?
Yes. So
and before you answer that, I hope you don't forget that question. I believe that you can see why it is that we don't like Kemi Badenoch.
100%.
But I want to understand why you do.
Okay.
And I'm still there. I'm still
why I do or don't.
No, why you do like her.
Okay, cool.
Like I'm still not sure. Snowstorm over the weekend.
Yeah.
Tried to basically like help me with understanding you because both of you are in the same position here.
Okay.
But I'm still not understanding you anything other than you just saying, well, she's black and she's a woman, she's Nigerian.
Yeah, because
how was that?
I'll tell you why. Let's start there though. The reason why is because for the longest while, people were happy all around the world for the fact that Barack Obama was the first black president. Just the fact that he was black, this was the narrative in the black community. The fact that he's a black man, he's done something that nobody else has done, and at least our kids have something to look up to. Just because you are not somebody who subscribes to the Tory party doesn't mean your child may not look up.
Don't move away from
No,
that.
it's the same thing.
You're comparing two things, so don't move away just yet.
Okay,
Because
cool.
if you're comparing it,
Yes.
it has to be, what was Barack saying before? What was he saying whilst he was running?
Okay.
And then you can go on to what he did afterwards.
No, I don't think that's important.
How do you not say it's not important?
I'll tell you why.
He literally embraced
Yeah.
the fact that he was black and he was part of a community that had been blah, blah, blah. Kemi's not doing that.
The reason why he did that is simply because he's on a side that does that typically, i.e., he's on the left. He's a Democrat, so they like this stuff. The same way.
Why'd you get a scratch inside your face?
That's long story. I scratched it doing something at home. But all I'm trying to say to you is, it's simply because he's on the Democrat side. If he was a Labour Party member, he would have done the same thing. It's simply what the left do. Let's appeal to the blacks. Let's appeal to the minorities. And fantastic is a great strategy because, historically we thought that they represented us, right? But that's the only reason why. It's not because he's this, that, and the third. Like the argument is...
Sorry. Remember, my brain is a bit mush. Right? My brain doesn't work like yours. You started comparing Barack with Kemi.
Yes.
And you basically suggested that people were really, really excited. Black people were excited across the world.
Yeah.
The first black man is going to be
President
leader
of the world.
of the free world. Mm-hmm. Right? What did he market? Did he market on saying racism doesn't exist? Did he campaign on that?
No.
Did he campaign on saying
Still didn't say
there's
a
no
damn
black
word when
community?
things was happening in Ferguson.
Sorry?
When things was happening, there were riots all over America, black people was getting killed. Still didn't come out and say a damn word.
No, but we're going through things sequentially at this point in time, right? Mm. And you are comparing how we are responding to Kemi to how we were responding to Barack.
Yeah.
Right? Now, if you do compare it, well, all right, talk to me.
The only reason why I'm saying that is because remember, Barack Obama is campaigning to be president. He's not trying to be, I guess, leader of the Democratic Party or whatever it may be. Remember, it was a weird type of way. He was represented, he was the thingy in Chicago, came through whatever, put the best candidate forward to be president of the world. It's different. There's no real leader opposition sort of dynamic like it is in the UK. He came out, he did what he was doing. He was installed to be in that position, and he worked his way up. Fantastic. He said the right thing. It's a great orator. Beautiful. I'm simply saying that to me, I think anyway, the narrative was what he's saying aside, the fact that he's a black person, a black man in America, right, and all them type of things there, and he's got to that. I've heard people say this. Like, your kids now can say this position is attainable. Not just the position to be the president of America, but more so that any high position in society and life can be attained because the very highest has been attained by a black man. That was the argument. I'm not saying whether you think he's good, bad, what he was saying. And if you want to talk about what he was saying, yes, he was talking about blackness. He was talking about all those things that you need to say in the beginning, just like Kamala Harris is saying it. But she's also said, I'm not going to do anything specifically for black people. She said that out of her mouth. Barack Obama wasn't that explicit. He just never did it, right? So she's told you she ain't going to do it. Beautiful. We don't even know if she's black, but that's neither here or there. I'm simply saying, why can't it be a similar sort of attitude where some people look at it and say, you know what? Even within a racist party, it's the party of power. Like, the legacy is crazy, and this woman's become the leader. This is not just a group of 10 people or 40 people deciding in a room strategically. It might be strategic, right? But it's not just a small group of people who've chosen to have her represent the party. This is the entire Tory membership. Almost 100,000. She got 53,000 votes. Jeremy got 41,000 votes. You know what I'm saying? Like, for her to have got to that position, why can't it be that, okay, another black person's got to that position? I'm not saying you have to like her. I don't care about that. I understand why you don't. I made it very clear. I really don't care. I said this time and time again for the past 2.5 years. No party likes you. No party does. None. The party that says that represent you, the Labour Party, had the whitest cabinet for the longest while.
It's a bit it's a different. There's a difference in you basically hammering home that no party likes us, and then you trying to get us to like this this position that she's now being promoted to.
This is more so for the integrationists out there, because the integration out there care about representation, Brent.
Wait.
They say all the time, We need more representation. We need this campaign to get in position of power. Labour.
No, don't be disingenuous. They don't ask for the wrong representation to be placed in power. That's
no,
not
but they want representation.
Don't be black and white here. You know, it's not just like that. Let me. The analogy I use with a snowstorm, right?
Yeah.
Is the one with the overseer, slave driver, and the house Negro, right? They were elevated to high positions of power, right? And should that be seen as a good thing? Sorry, was that seen as a good thing? Sorry, let me just ascertain whether it is that you believe that there were black overseers appointed back in the day, and why were they appointed?
Just to make things easier, I guess, isn't it? And they knew what to do in those positions. It'd be easier.
But what did it also do?
It lulled the people to sleep.
So, do you see why it is I've used that analogy for Kemi? This whole, she's been promoted to the highest position. Yeah, but in that particular position, do you understand what they can now wield? And put their hands back and say, hey, you weren't doing this.
No. I see it's no different to them putting David Lammy in that position. No different to any black person being in Labour in that position. I literally don't. Because the way I see it is, if a black person, a black woman, black man in the Labour Party became a black leader of the opposition, high position in the Labour Party, people would be more happier than they would for Badenoch. To me, that's fine. Again, I'm not telling you who should be a person you support. I'm basically simply saying that, to me, both parties' agendas do not have you at the focal point at all. So I'm saying, if we take that aside, the fact that somebody is in that high position, right? Again, this is why I read out what David Lammy said. He said, my grandparent or my parents never would have thought somebody like me would ever be in this position. I'm pretty sure it could be said the same for Kemi. You don't have to agree with either one of them, but both parties do not have you as black people in mind.
Yeah. You keep saying that that's going to absolve you from the position you've taken for us to celebrate Kemi being in position.
I'm not asking to celebrate. I'm saying
you're not doing it.
I'm saying the same mentality that celebrates Barack Obama. You're saying you're not doing it,
but you're making an argument to that point.
No. Yes, for those people who are willing to celebrate a Barack Obama.
Do you celebrate the fact that she's in power? Because you said you did.
Yeah, because I think...
All right, so that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, that is surprising to me. But
why?
Because of what you said that you stand for.
Listen, I don't look to any of these political parties.
No, you keep saying that. Don't
no,
say
I
that.
have to make
Just
it so it makes sense.
Fix it on the pathway, because we know that you keep saying...
Okay, I'll make it clear.
See any difference between Labour and Conservatives. The reason why... Bear in mind, we don't believe you, because you've also said a lot of the Conservative policies literally aligned with your thinking.
Of course.
Right. So when you say what you say, it's whisper. But on the other end, it's contradictory.
How? Where's the contradiction?
By saying that you don't support any of these particular parties.
I don't support any party. None. I support a policy a party puts in place.
All right, but
if that policy came from Labour,
if that particular party is coming with what they're coming with, remember, it's historically, legacy-wise, Conservatives, those particular policies, you align with them. So at some point in time, you're going to basically have to admit, wait a minute.
Don't say historic. What policies are you talking about historically that I aligned with?
You always talk about like free market and capitalism and economics.
So economics. There you go.
It's always that.
Because that's the thing I care about. That's the thing I think black people should prioritize. Economics.
Stop letting people believe that you're not a conservative man.
I'm not a conservative man.
Okay.
I'm an economics man. I care about the only thing that will better the lives of black people and working class people that come from my background. Because we're the people that get forgotten about. The latest budget showed you again, you got forgotten about. You've been shafted.
I agree. As it stands, you believe in most of the conservative policies, and you are now supporting or in support of their new leader. Am I correct?
Hold on. In fact, sorry.
That's okay. You could address that. Go on, address it, and then respond to my question.
No, I won't do it, because I will say something that it won't be nice. Go on.
But it's your birthday. You could get away with it.
No, I don't want to, because it's not nice. I don't want to create division like some of you. I won't.
So, historically, you believe and agree with most of their policies, right?
What do you mean most of their policies?
Conservative policies.
No, I don't. I wouldn't say it's most.
Which policies, like, are they kind of known for that you don't agree with?
I don't necessarily agree with the, privatization of the NHS. I said this before. I believe that there should be.
Because you benefited from it.
Nothing to do with me. I don't care. I could get private today. I don't.
All right, other than privatization of the NHS, because even Labour was there suggesting that they wanted to basically do that at some point in time.
Yes, 100%. Only to be fair to them though, it's because they want to ease the burden of the NHS. They didn't say they want to privatize.
So
like that,
name another thing, like a long-standing policy, right? Aligned with Tory beliefs. It's hard for you to basically pluck it. I know.
No, the reason why. No, I'll tell you why. Okay, I don't agree with their policies on war and meandering in Israel. I don't in Palestine. I don't agree with their supporting of Ukraine in the Russia conflict. I don't agree with none of that stuff.
But every single party in power would do that because of who they're being lobbied by.
Yes.
So don't go on.
It's still a policy.
No, but you've gone like it's a Tory.
No, but when they were in power, right? They were doing what they were doing, and they were doing what they were doing.
But Labour's in power now, and they're going to continue. So don't make it as though it's just.
It's not unique to Tories. Yeah, it doesn't have to be.
Then don't.
It's still Tory policy.
I just asked you for policies unique to Tories.
Okay, cool. Right now I can't think of any.
I know.
No, but I'm telling you very clearly, because when it comes to a political party, right, most things are going to be about the economy. Because if you have no economy, everything fails in the country. This is why, again, I've been stressing the importance of people becoming about the economy.
I agree, that's why
I'm simply saying to you, Brent,
without you having to say it, you know that you are a Tory.
All right, that's fine. If you want to call me a Tory, I don't care.
Yeah, you're just waiting for like somebody who is like Kemi to come through and say, all right, let's do it.
No, I support. The reason why, it's not a case of me celebrating Kemi, by the way. It's just me being happy for her, because a black Yoruba woman has said, I'm going to try and do this, and has achieved it. It's literally that. And I see somebody that comes from my background.
This is cool, man.
Honestly, that's literally it.
I've heard you, and I will take what you're saying, right? I know you stand here, and that's your
because
your
I
opinion.
know if Kemi Badenoch was right here, I'm pretty sure on many things, probably a lot of things, we're not going to agree. I will push her on so many different things.
Because she's going to start talking. You would only push her back on the things that she starts showcasing or showing, like her agenda, or white supremacist agenda.
Yeah,
that's the only thing you push back on whilst she's here. But you're just removing it from this particular consideration, factoring in here, and that's what I'm puzzled about. Because when she's here in front of you, you would basically press it.
The reason why.
But when she's now there, and you know that she presses it in her spare time, and when it is that she looks to sit down to form policies, when it is that she looks to sit down and try to be lobbied by people saying that, this particular community is going to be disadvantaged, she'd be like, sorry, I don't even recognize this as a community. I'm going this way, right? Because in her mind, she's like, we are even a particular percentage, and I don't even belong to that particular percentage. I don't see myself as a percentage. So why am I looking to prioritize them? I should be thinking about
but the thing,
majority.
The reality is this. Again, you don't have to agree, but the woman articulated herself clear. She said, I don't believe in a black community. Why? Because a community typically has certain values, X, Y, and Z, and you people are aligned in it. We know for a fact, you may not like me saying it, but it's a fact. There's so many different things where black people are not on code. That shows, wait, that shows division in a community. That's what she's speaking to. I do not belong to that community that don't even get X, Y, and Z correct.
Would
see alignment
you like
any of that
them
stuff.
to be on code?
Who, black people?
Yes.
Of course I would.
All right, so when you are using that as an example, as what she has said, and you would prefer if we were, because that's what it is that we are looking to basically work towards, because we know if, TMB.
Okay, cool.
Are you okay?
I'm fantastic. I thought you were talking about the people who might be the naysayers, who are not the we.
I'm aware that because we are not on code, because we don't have infrastructure, because we don't have a joint combined a push or narrative, we remain powerless. We remain divided.
Facts.
We remain divisive, and that's what the machine wants for us not to realize if it is that we understand that we are not a monolith, 100%, but we collectively fight against the oppressors, we will grow, right? That's what it is that she's like, I'll accept this position and I'll help you keep them divided. 100%.
See, I don't see it that way.
I know you don't.
But again, it's neither here or there for me. Because at the end of the day, even if she has that in mind, the other side that many of us support have that in mind. The difference is you guys choose to not see it. They choose to not see it. I'll give you a perfect example, and I hope this is very clear, and I'm hesitant to even say it.
Just do it. Don't give Buddy this famous line.
No, because it's important. Because I like Dawn Butler. I do not want it to seem as though I'm not supporting her, right? Or would want some discipline to come. I really don't. I want to make that very clear. But when the amazing Diane Abbott made her comments about Jewish people and the Romas and the travelers in them, the whip was removed, right? Cool. When, of course, Dawn Butler never said these particular words. She retweeted it. I don't think it's the same retweeting. I don't think it's necessarily the same as saying it. So big up for that. That's my move. But, right? But it's still an attack on somebody saying you are white supremacy in blackface. If Labour cared about how black people feel, there would be some sort of thing that would come to her. The difference is, because I guarantee you, if somebody said this is white supremacy or I don't know, Zionism in blackface or whatever it may be, she will be done out here. There's a difference. There's a hierarchy in who people see as important. Black lives still don't matter. Israeli lives matter. Everyone's life should matter. I'm basically saying for that community, everyone jumped on Diane Abbott. She had the whip removed. She was suspended. The most craziest crap was happening to the very first black female MP this country has ever had. They disrespected her like crazy because she made comments that were facts about a particular groups, right? Another statement has been made about the legitimacy of somebody's blackness, right? And where's the Labour Party? Again, I'm not trying to call for anything to happen to. I like Dawn Butler. It's very clear. But I'm trying to show again, within that same party that supports you, they don't give a damn about you. They don't. Other groups, yes, they do. You, they don't. I'm not supporting Kemi Badenoch's views on this. I do not care. I've made it clear many times. Right, left, all of that is the same, different wings on the same vulture that is here to destroy you guys if you are not careful. I'm simply saying, whilst they are planning, if there are policies that are put in place that can make it easier for working class people, make it easier for black people to better our lives and the lives of our children, buy another property, put them in private school, I don't know, have more money in your pocket so you can decide on whatever it is you want to do for your kids. That is the best party for you. Not because you think one person likes you more. Look at the recent budget. You voted for them. They told you X, Y, and Z. They lied to you. I said this to you guys. I said it clear as day. The people that are going to be affected by this budget is you.
But bear in mind, don't go on as though when it is that you were saying what you were saying, that they were lying, that I wasn't also saying they probably are lying. All politicians are lying. So don't go on as though...
What's this got to do with you? What are you talking about?
You just said you told.
Because I was telling people.
And what did I say?
What's that got to do with
I'm in the room with you.
What's that? Okay.
I'm in the room with you.
Me and Brent said it then. It's the same thing. No, I still told them.
Don't treat it like a point. It's not a point.
Why?
Because you didn't get any pushback when you were saying what you were saying about lying.
Brent, I don't need to have pushback in the room. I'm simply saying because other people out there believe by having Labour there, by vote.
When we talk, we're talking. Forget about the strangers online.
No, but Brent, we're talking to the people.
Quick question, Emmanuel.
Yes.
You said that Dawn Butler did something or didn't do something when it is Diane Abbott was ostracized.
I never said that.
What did you say? She
was supporting Diane Abbott.
So what were you saying about Dawn Butler?
I don't want to stress it too much, but basically what I'm trying, because again, I'm not trying to call.
The plot.
No.
I thought you were making a point.
I'm just being mindful about what I'm saying. Like I really don't want to look like I want something to happen in terms of discipline. What I'm basically saying is when Diane Abbott said something about a particular group, she had the whip removed, right? She made comments about people's whatever, right? When Dawn Butler has agreed or retweeted comments about somebody's blackness, right? That has not been seen as the craziest thing. It hasn't. If she had made the same comments about a Jewish person, I think right now she'll be out of there.
Oh, so your
she'll
point
be in trouble.
wasn't to basically malign Don Butler. You was just saying that if she did the same thing Diane Abbott did, then she'd be in trouble.
If she just said the same thing about, sorry, she didn't say, she retweeted this guy's comments about Kemi Badenoch being a white supremacist in blackface.
Yeah.
If she had said the same thing about this is Zionism in blackface.
Yeah, so it was just you're just getting popping one off at juice.
No, it's me just no. It's just basically saying the party itself that claims to represent you, right? Because you have to understand, people don't like Kemi Badenoch because of what she said, of course, but also because she's a Tory. People just hate Tories. They just hate Tories. But the party that you like don't like you.
I might own opinion as to why it is that she got that particular position. I might own opinion as to why it is that she got that particular position. But you haven't asked me yet. Good morning, Chijoke, and good morning, Ed.
Good morning.
And good morning, Christy. How are you
Morning,
doing?
mother.
What are your thoughts? Pop off.
Okay.
Just remember it's his birthday, yeah?
No, I was going to say happy birthday to Iman first and foremost. So,
You was going to say?
No, it was.
I think I was going to start off with.
All right. I appreciate you, man. Thank you.
Yeah, no. But I think my issue is, I think the way you're trying to spin it, and what I'd rather you just say is just say you're just doing a BOE thing.
Okay.
Because everything that she essentially wants for black people, she doesn't really think that we need or there should be a special push for us. And I think she's made that very clear with the things she said. And I think she's weaponized it enough for this discord to happen so that we're arguing whether we should be celebrating or not celebrating it. And I think that's the danger of her being there, because now anytime that we argue, we will always be it'll always be like, well, you've put Kemi in, so if you've got anything to complain about, complain to her, because she should be looking out for you, not us.
But okay, I don't think they even talk that way. I don't think they see it that way. I don't think they see it as, oh, talk to Kemi. Obviously not literally, but I don't think they see it that way. I just see it as they just think, okay, black person may be there, this, that, and the third, but not necessarily that, okay, she's going to be the savior and appease black people. I really don't think they think there's a link like that. None of us has ever come out to celebrate her at no time in her career. For them to actually think that we champion her in that position. And her getting in that position has made this abundantly clear. I really don't think it's that. I think she's just better than every other candidate in the Tory party. I think she just is. You know what I'm saying? And so even though she may have some harmful views towards us, and I don't take them lightly at all, I really don't, right? But my thing is just, why do people hate a black person far more if they're a Tory or a Republican than if it's a Democrat? When to me, in my humble opinion, both parties don't care for you anyway.
But I don't think that's fair, because if we're talking personally for me, whether she was Labour or whether she was Tory, based on what she said, I wouldn't particularly be happy about it. It's like when you brought up David Lammy. There's quite a few people who don't like David Lammy.
Agreed.
For similar views. Not because they don't feel he does too much for us. And there's also that point of the way he's moving with the whole Israel and Palestine war. So there's a lot of people who also don't like him. So I think when it comes to her position is important, of course, because of who she is, but also who she represents. And I think whether she likes it or not, she will be a representative of the black community, because that's what people will see.
But maybe this is why she said, well, I'm not part of that community. Because if that's the case, she's making it clear, no, I don't want to be part of that community. I just want to be somebody who pushes Britain forever and all that stuff. Again, that's not my view. I don't care for that. But it's just, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh no, I just really don't see any real difference between the two parties. And to me, I feel like if a party is meant to be there to be helpful to me, and I don't see a difference, I think that's even more harmful. You know what I'm saying? And this is why I mentioned the whole thing about David Lammy. Because to me, and I agree with you 100%, many times, many people have said he's a sellout, he's this and the third, right? But in the same party, Dumbala is in the same party. Again, I really don't want to make this about Dumbala because I really like her, right? But in the same party, you've got somebody who was so happy to go out there and say, I am foreign secretary of this, that, and the third. My parents would never have thought this could have happened. They used to stop and search me, but look at me here. Look at God. All that sort of talk, right? But somebody who's in a higher position, leader of the opposition, who potentially could be the prime minister of the country, right? It's like she's this, that, and the third. Why? Like, I get the why, but you get what I'm saying? It's just like, come on, man. That's just basically how I see it. To me, I really just think it's like whoever can put certain things in place that we can benefit from, I really think that's the best thing. And when you look at this party that we've continued to vote for again and again and again, you've just seen it now. If you had aspirations to get another property because you believe in generational wealth, it's now becoming more harder for you. The people that they're meant to be helping you, you know, it's now harder for you. Kemi, if she aligned with the views, the economic views of Rishi Sunak or some of the people on the right, she'll put certain things in place that'll make it easier for you to get a second property.
It's crazy how
saying the fact.
We have, what was it, 10 years of Conservative in power? 14. Sorry. 14 years.
Yeah.
And we are in hell.
Okay.
Because of that.
Yeah.
And they've just come in power. They've just dropped the budget. Yeah. You don't know what's going to happen in the next 5 months, let alone 5 years.
Okay.
And you are adamant that it's going to be detrimental for anybody you've just mentioned. Can you imagine 14 years of hell?
I mean, do you know why? Because numbers don't lie. So if, for example, again, you had £10,000 to buy a second property, now you need 13. Now you need more. Money don't grow on trees. Now, wait. You sold your property because now you want to move back home and give some of that money to your kids. You now have less money in your pocket. This is not something that's made up.
So you feel that the only decision people should care about is whether they can basically buy a property?
No, I believe...
During the 14 years, was it easy to buy a property? Did they have all this money to buy the property?
I wouldn't say it's easy.
No, it's crazy what you're suggesting.
No, it's not crazy.
It's just really as black and white as that.
No, it needs to be for black people. It needs to be. Economics needs to be number one. It really needs to be. Self-sufficiency.
That's not what I'm saying.
No, but that's what I'm saying.
Never mind.
That's what I'm saying. Economics is everything, right? All this race stuff saying the nicest things to make black people happy today, it's bollocks. It's never worked. None of them like you. Listen, whatever is better for you and your family, to have more money in your pocket so you can feed your kids better, give them a better diet, give them a better future. All of the things that you care about, easing the cost of living pressures, helping to provide for you. All of those things should matter to you. None of them like you. That's just simply how I see it. Care about the things that's going to make your life and people that look like you better. And a lot of that comes from you being in a position to, again, have more money in your pockets, to, again, if you're an entrepreneur type, to start a business, right? We don't need crazy corporation tax. We don't need crazy capital gains tax. We don't need all of these things. And then on top of it, to lie to me and tell me, well, I'm a working person, and so everything's going to remain the same. Don't lie to me. The fact that you can tell me that means you think I'm a bloody idiot.
Good morning, Ed, and good morning, Christy. Talk to us.
Yo.
Yes, Ed. What's saying, man?
I'm absorbing. I've just been absorbing what our good brother is saying. I don't know where to fully start, but all I can go off is firstly the whole back to when you were going like, oh, like all Obama did, say the right things, and you know, and that was it, and blah blah blah. Like, I'm just like, we're gonna negate his history, all his history in Chicago, from grassroots level through to Senate level, because pretend he did nothing for black people. Got into the Senate and was like, hey, I like black people now. It's like, we're gonna negate all that suddenly. Like, come on, my bro. Like, you know, I hear the logic of what you're trying to say. We can't delete the actual factual history of what he done. You know what I mean? We can't say he didn't raise no. Can't say that he didn't do nothing for education for people in the South Side. We can't let that ain't happen. We can't act like he wasn't there for his people at the ground level all the way up. Like, yeah, fair enough. We can go what happened to the top of the top, and things went left because obviously the Senate and the House and blah 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 was against him.
Yeah.
So we can talk on all that stuff. Yeah, fair. But in terms of what he did up to that point, you can see here he's clearly for the people. Up to this point, whereas Kemi showed she was for the people, quote unquote. You know what I mean? That respectfully, I don't look through her history and don't see work at any level for us as a community in any way, shape, or form.
I definitely hear you, right? And I definitely appreciate those points, right? And I agree with what you said about him doing all the good work he did in Chicago, right? But the reality is, a lot of that was isolated to people in Chicago. Not his fault. I'm just saying something that's pretty much a reality. When he became the leader of the entire country, black people in America, if I'm not mistaken, are about 15%, right? Far more than us here, right? More than 3-4 times what we are here. So there's more at stake if you do not put certain things in place for black people in America. And again, I don't know too much about the detail of politics in America, but black people themselves have come out and said, you know what, two terms in power, and I don't see what he did specifically for us. It seems like he did stuff specifically for other groups, but for black people,
I hear that. I hear that one. I'm just going off the pure. But your conversation was about saying up to the point where he got there. That was what we're talking about. So I sort of spoke on that part.
No. And it's not just a case of just what he did up to that point. It's just me saying, like, even if he did things up to that point for Chicago, right? When he was pushed to the forefront, right? And this is the beauty of hindsight. We don't have to kind of project or forecast what he will do for black people. We've seen it play out, and many black people say he didn't do anything. So we can see.
You were speaking sequentially.
No. That's what you was trying to make us do. I'm simply saying this.
No, that's what he is actually saying. You compared them, and then you spoke about how everybody was happy that a black man was going to be the leader of the free world. You didn't talk about after. Because you can't, when you're comparing it, you can't talk about Kemi and compare it to Barack because we haven't seen her after.
I hear that, but I'm talking about two different things here. I was definitely talking about him getting to that position and becoming the president. So yes, you're right in the sense of after that. I'm not talking about that in terms of what he did. I spoke about that only in terms of a black person being in that position, i.e. Kemi Badenoch is now a black person in that position. Potentially could be the first black PM, black woman, black person, period. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people who are outside of Chicago, who did not see the benefit of Barack Obama when he was a senator, prior to him becoming the president, right, said, just the fact that he's there, I love it. That's basically what I was speaking to. Just the fact that Kemi Badenoch's there, could this not be a good thing? Even if you're on the left, could this not make you think, you know what, maybe we may have a Labour leader who could be black? But Labour never gave you that dream, you know. The Tories did, the racist ones. That's the point I'm making.
This is bonkers.
That's
bonkers.
I can't believe you just said that.
That's
I
what I'm
can't
saying.
believe. I can't believe on your birthday. This is the way you're choosing to
That's
grow.
what I'm saying.
Man said the racist ones. They gave you that.
So we should thank the racists, right?
No,
you're wild.
We should thank the
You're
racists.
wild.
Even the whip to
Look at them.
You're wild.
We should thank them. Brother,
wow, that's imaginary.
That's bonkers, man. I'm gonna clip that
listen.
up. I'm
You
gonna
have
clip
to.
that up.
You have to.
Don't
And tag Kemi Badenoch. All this ride from Kemi Badenoch, you're saying her name wrong. It's Badenoch.
Kemi Badenoch. You're welcome.
They took you out from the field, let you in the house. Fez.
Listen.
Mate. Yikes.
All I'm saying is, again, this is nothing to do with again, my point is still the same. I just see both parties as the same to me. Again, that might be harsh to you guys, but the reason why I say it in that way is simply because I see no difference on both sides, or very little difference on both sides between the two of them in terms of what they do specifically for black people and for working class people. That's just my position.
No doubt.
Yeah.
E-man.
Yes.
Good
morning,
E-man, please. Good morning.
How are you?
And happy birthday. Listen to you.
That's pre-flogging.
However, when I was in the studio last, I get that we're not gonna get to an agreement because you still hold certain people who have spouted anti-black views in high regard. And that's my issue. And my issue when you say, "Oh, no party is for us."
Yeah.
If no party is for us, why should I celebrate Kemi Badenoch?
Because
because she's a black woman. I don't understand. If she's a representative of a party that is not for us either, and Labour Party is not for, why? I don't understand. Why am I celebrating her?
Beautiful question. Because, and again, this is not for someone like you, Christy, because I know where you stand. Like, you think both parties are not for you. But for those who think a party is for them, I'm saying, why don't you support this? Because the party that you do support hasn't even done this for you. And they talk about representation, they talk about this and the third. That's what I'm basically talking to. For those who are the staunch integrationists, who said we need representation in all areas of society, this is another step in that direction. Why are you not applauding it? Because you disagree with her viewpoint. That's what I'm talking to. But for those who are saying, do for self, let's do X, Y, and Z, we see no hope here in this. Again, that's not for you. That's not for you. It's for those who believe in the system, who want to be part of the system. That's what I'm speaking to.
Question, baby boy.
Yeah.
Sorry, Christy. I remember when the Black Curriculum founder came in. She spoke so eloquently.
Big up Lavinia.
Eloquently, sorry.
Yes.
Do you want the Black Curriculum in the education system?
Yeah.
Do you think Kemi would run it through? And
no, I don't think so.
Why not?
Because, like you said, I don't think she even cares about for them sort of things. I don't think she thinks it's beneficial.
Do you think,
in fact,
having the Black Curriculum is going to benefit the Black community?
I think it will do, yeah.
So that would, by proxy...
so that would be something I disagree with Kemi on.
And I can ask you more questions about how this could help the Black community.
Okay.
And then I could ask you, do you think Kemi would run that through, add as part of a policy?
Cool.
And you would, in my head, in majority say no to a lot of those things.
Yeah.
Shouldn't that suffice?
For who? For me?
For you to be like, this isn't a good appointment.
No, of course not.
But you said that you only care about how it benefits the Black community.
Economics, yeah. I'll tell you why. Put it this way. The same person who said came on the show, Lavinia, big up Lavinia again. She said under the Tories, when it came to introducing the Black curriculum, it was easier. These are not my words. Under the Tories, the racist party, it was easier to implement the Black curriculum. Again, not my words. So I'm simply saying to you, it's not about parties here to me. It's about what's easier for you. If under the Tories is easier, maybe that may be better. If under Labour is easier to bring in the Black curriculum, then it may be better. If it's also easier for us to build wealth, to have more money in our pockets, to be able to curb this cost of living crisis, better for ourselves and our families, that to me, your interest is the thing you should prioritize. That's what it's about for me.
I think the point you just made is fair. I think it's black and white in that sense without giving any explanation or color or clarification on that point, because you've taken little data, right? Because they've only been in power just for a little while. And I'm sure there's a lot of movement behind the scenes, getting out the old and putting in the new, right? You seem to think it's just black and white. And I think when she was here, she did say she would have expected it to just go swing.
No. I'll give you an example of what I'm talking about. She spoke about the panel. There's a panel that you need to address when you're trying to introduce the Black curriculum. Under the Labour Party, the new party, been in there since July, they've made changes. They removed somebody. There was more people on that panel that were Black before under the Tories. Mm-hmm. That made it easier to put in the Black curriculum. It was easier for them to put in the Black curriculum under the Tories. When Labour came in, they made changes. And one of those changes was to remove somebody that looks like you. So everyone who's on that panel, potentially, again, it's just based on race, we don't necessarily know, but based on race, that one person has to somewhat, has to somewhat try and support the agenda of the Black curriculum.
Yeah.
It becomes harder. So that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. So I understand your point. Like I said, it's fair if we don't delve into it, right? Because if that same person that was on the panel had views like David Lammy and he's removed, would that be better or worse? Because David Lammy, he basically toes the line, right?
I don't know if it'll be better or worse till we see it. And Lavinia's seen it. It's
Again,
not just a case of the numbers.
The point you're making, I think it's a fair point, only because of what we're talking about here and the little data that we have.
Because it's fact.
I hear you, but
you've
extrapolated that particular data and basically said, yep, the Labour Party is more racist than the Conservative Party when it comes to this particular black curriculum. That's what you're suggesting, right?
Okay.
That's how you've extrapolated it.
I mean, you brought it up.
No, like I said, it's a fair point because if it is you don't delve into it, if it is you don't know the nuances behind the scenes, right? Okay. You can basically make that point. And because I have to put my hand up. I can't talk to anything else because we don't have any more data, right?
There you go.
It could be literally.
Well, when Lavinia comes back, we can delve into.
No, I don't even know if it is that if she comes back, she can even speak to what might even be suggesting might be the reason. And I don't know if you give it a year, it now not balances but overcorrects to the point where you're seeing black curriculum all over the gap. Yeah. You don't know just yet, right?
Yeah, I'll tell you I do.
Because you can predict it. And what do you predict? What do you predict with Kemi's leadership?
Honestly,
because I can see how you're basically foretelling what's going to happen over there.
Yeah.
But tell us what's going to happen here. Because bear in mind, there's a high probability that Kemi could basically have you sitting down there like how Kanye West had you sitting on there. Like how Candace Owens has you sitting on there, right?
Oh no, we're already
There's a high probability.
We're there now.
No. As in, she's going to say or do something wild that has him like, okay, Mayweather. So I want you to go even further. So that particular day is going to be sweeter. Tell us.
Ben, I don't mind.
How is she going to benefit us? Go.
Firstly, if I'm wrong, I don't mind being wrong.
No,
honestly, I really don't care. I genuinely, all I care about is just the betterment of black people.
I don't mind being wrong, but for the last hour has been arguing against people that don't like Kemi Badenoch. What are you talking about?
No, but that's because I don't think I'm wrong. You know what I'm saying?
We know. We know that.
But if the future proves that I am wrong in this particular thing, that's fine. You know what I'm saying? But my thing is this, right? I'm very clear. And in fact, Kemi herself is clear. She's not trying to do anything for black people. She does not believe that. She said it. Same thing Kamala Harris said, by the way. But that's just a by the way. Secondly, again, all I am saying is if things are easier, right, for you to live your life, then I think that's the best thing for you. And if, for example, again, somebody in the chat, Pris, right, she said something about how maybe I'm basically just articulating the, black middle class sort of stuff. Listen, there are many people in council estates, right, who are really banking on this whole right to buy thing and getting the discounts and all that sort of stuff. That's been made harder under Labour, right? Firstly, it was even brought in under the Tories back in the late 70s, early 80s, right? But that's another thing. But anyway, I'm basically just trying to say, again, I think if people are being honest, I feel like a lot of the time you agree with policies on both sides. That's what I genuinely think. If not, then that's fine. Everyone's different. And I'm simply saying, me personally, Emmanuel, right? I don't think a particular party cares about you more than the other. That's just me personally. If they do, I think it's very small and doesn't make the biggest difference. And so I personally believe the best strategy is do for self, which means economic self-reliance. Rely on people that look like you and think like you, this, that, and the third. And how can things be easier for you? Typically by starting your own things. How is it easier to start your own things? By having more money in your pocket. If it's harder for you, if you're squeezed, then it becomes harder for you to start your own black business. The same business you guys say we should patronize. Guys, please just follow it. It's not that difficult.
Yeah, but E-Man, Kemi doesn't stand for any of what you just said. So that's why I don't understand what we're doing here.
But Christy, it doesn't matter what she stands for. She doesn't have to...
Listen, Christy, listen. I'll explain to you. No. Can I finish? Can I finish?
Go on.
I get all that you're saying.
Yeah.
But in terms of the point of you saying she's a Yoruba woman, she's a third, blah, 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 all this stuff, I'm talking about that. Forget. I'm not talking. We're not. Let's take out the Tories versus Labour debate here. Take that out of the equation. Solely focus on her being that she's got to this position. You have said that Dawn Butler, whatever, said the whole white supremacist black face.
Yeah.
That you're basically saying that shouldn't have been said.
Yeah, because I mean, I've said this before on the show.
No, but in terms of her views.
Yeah.
In terms of her views. Yeah. Is that not what she is?
I mean, again, I don't want to echo the same thing, but in terms of those views, to answer your question, because I'm not trying to dance around, right? Do I think that she says certain things that is beneficial for white supremacy? Most definitely.
Okay.
I don't come in here and lie to you.
So if that is the case,
yeah.
Again, my question is, why are we? I don't understand why we need to be. I don't understand why we need to be celebrated.
Okay.
She
cool.
doesn't. Me as a Yoruba woman.
Yeah.
Myself.
Yeah.
A staunch one.
Yeah.
She cannot be a representation of me. She's not.
So let me explain.
She doesn't hold the same beliefs, even if she's a Yoruba woman. She doesn't even hold the same beliefs. So what are we doing here?
Okay, so Chrissy, this is how we do it. So Labour, let's just say Labour. I really don't want to put any dirt on Labour's name, but I'm just using them because they're the incumbent government, and obviously one of the two major political parties. So I'm not saying this is what they are doing or have done, whatever it may be. But let's just say they come in, they increase taxes, right? To corporation tax, right? So let's just say corporation tax goes up 20% or 25%, whatever it may be. And now out of your £100, you're paying £25, right? You have £75 in your pocket. Cool. You now have to do whatever you need to do. You pay yourself dividends, pay whatever it may be to live, right? If, for example, under the Tories, it goes down to 20%, you now have an extra £5 in your pocket. That £5 added to my £5, to Esther's £5, to Brent's £5, could mean we have now an extra £25 or £20 to now put a down payment on a property that we can use for childcare. So that childcare now becomes an investment for all of us. That's not us saying that Kemi likes us. That's us saying, yeah, we know she doesn't like us, but it's still a policy that means we can benefit. So what does that mean? That also means we can choose to give cheaper childcare to people within our community. Why? Because it's ours. But under Labour, who said that they know how to spend your money better than you do, you take home less money. So the money that we would otherwise pull together to create a business, a childcare business, we now do not have. We now have to put our kids in those other childcares, right? And pay crazy amounts of money. That is an example, right, of how it may be better under the Tories or Kemi Badenoch than it is under Rachel Reeves or Starmer. Nothing to do with the party. I do not care about the party. I care about the policy. I care about what makes you, Christy, go home and have more money in your pocket to provide for your children. I care about you guys listening. That's what I care about. You know what I'm saying? So that's how it happens. Again, now we're in public school. We can't all afford private school, but some of us will try and, tighten our belts and try and get our kids into private schools. Why? Because maybe we recognize that networking or that education is far better. Is it far better? People will try and argue, no, it's not. Of course it is. If there's only 10 people in a class and one teacher has to deal with 10 kids in a class, they will have more attention, they will excel far more. Let's not be childish. So let's just say that's a better education now. Cool. Now, they've now made it 20% harder. Why? Because now they've got rid of the VAT. You may now say, you know what, that's fair, whatever it may be. But if you are one of those people who strive for that now, you now have to find an extra 20%. How much can your belt tighten? But that aside, you're not one of those people, because apparently that's only for the middle class blacks. Let's go down a bit, yeah? Down, right? Working class. Most of us, yeah? Public school system. 30 people in the school. X amount of money, this, that, and the third. If we're still in that particular position where you're taxing those people, you now bring it to the public school system, and there's like little change. What's going to happen for your kids? Plus, on top of that, you've got a wonderful sister in Lavinia who comes around with a black curriculum and says, cool, let's introduce these things so that our kids who are in the public system can benefit from knowing who they are, because knowledge of self is key. Guess what happens though? Under the Tories, it's hard enough. But it's two people that look like you and may make it easier for you to implement this change with the black curriculum. Just in a few months of Labour being in power now from July, they've taken one of them out. It now becomes harder for us to get this potential improvement for our children in the same public school system. That's what I'm talking about. I do not care, once again, please, about right or left. I care about anything that is put in power. If Labour right now did certain lower taxes or did whatever was necessary that would make life better for us, I will say, guys, that's the place to go. It doesn't matter, red or I really don't care. It's just about what can we put in place that we can benefit from. I need that to be stressed.
It's two things, man. If it is you just focused on that, because you've been talking about that before Kemi came into power for the opposition, right? But you started off, in fact, the topic of the day is geared towards us looking to basically celebrate this woman. Do you understand?
But
we
Brent,
started off saying this is why we're not celebrating her.
Brent,
I know you have devolved into now basically just talking about whichever party benefits us. Cool. I know. I hear that you're saying it's part of it. So for the last 14 years, has it been beneficial to the black community? Or are you saying that it is going to get worse now?
That's what I'm saying. It could potentially get worse.
Yes, don't say potentially. Don't say potentially, because I told you.
Okay, cool.
I'll
say it very clearly.
I told you that you don't know yet what the next 5 months is going to look like.
Okay, Brent. I will be very clear with you. The reason why I use the word potentially is because we were under the Tories, right? And this was prior to the manifestos. This was prior to July 4th. It's now the reality because we now have a budget, a full budget, not a mini budget, a full budget. We have now seen the position of Labour. They are doing some difficult things, and it's because the Tories did a lot of foolishness. But Labour have made, at least now, temporarily, very difficult for you and I. So currently, it is harder. It is worse for you. That's just what it is. If it changes because of their amazing strategic genius, then I will applaud it. Just like I applauded Rachel Reeves, and you know this to be true. I applauded her when she was criticizing how much, when she was basically talking about not being so silly with privatization and just incentivizing businesses. This was before they took power. When she was talking that talk, I was like, yes, okay, cool. I think there's hope here. Hopefully she will do a good job. I said this on the show many times. You know what I'm saying? So if she can turn it around, like I said in the Discord, it was very risky what she done. But if she can turn it around, I will applaud her the same way. I will applaud her the same way. I really don't see no red and blue. I don't. I see working class and black. That's it.
Was Christy still there? Did you cut Christy off?
No, she's still there. All right, Ed, Christy, or Chijoke, have you got any parting words?
You cut Christy off mid-sentence.
Yeah,
me?
Yeah. Christy, go
You
first.
said, oh, sorry, Christy, 1 second. That's 20 minutes ago.
But that was 20 minutes ago. She's been talking since.
Okay, fair.
You really tapped out, innit?
Yes. Your man came in here today and told me he wanted to finish early.
I'm sorry.
It's 9:42 and we're supposed to about the same thing. I let him know you don't want to leave here.
No,
this is how you want to spend your birthday.
But
That's
remember
fine.
you said at
It's your
a particular
birthday.
time, we're going to shut it down. So at that time...
Not mid-word and road. I got some juicy gist.
Hey, okay, let's wrap this up, guys.
Sorry, any parting words,
sorry,
fantastic contributors?
Yeah,
thank you very
man.
much for joining Discord, by the way. I would love for more people to basically come on. I would have loved for there to be voices who were in support of what Emmanuel was saying. That would have been fantastic, but maybe next time.
Yeah, maybe.
You know, on his birthday, you started back him.
No, guys, stand in whatever you believe, man. That's the best thing. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, 100%. I cool what Brent said. Big up Ed, big up Chijoke, and big up my sister, Christy.
I don't know. It sounds like
sorry.
This is not sure you guys
No.
are
Apparently, I'm being disrespectful to you, E-Man. So apparently, apparently, you know.
Why?
Oh,
Well, okay.
Is there another person that can threaten you?
Philly in the chat. Go do one.
oh my goodness.
Anyway, that's
This
me
is what you
being
use
aggressive now.
your microphone for.
I love the way Christy uses her microphone. And I told you, so if Christy doesn't have access to the microphone, I'm going to do it right sitting on this couch for her. I stand with Christy.
It's my parting words.
Thank you very much.
That'll
Ed,
do it.
Chijoke?
Big up, sis.
Yeah, man.
All right, he echoes that.
Ed said, okay? Ed said retweet.
All right, later.
Yeah, man. Appreciate you. Hey, we have the best community, you know.
Listen,
Big up TDA,
great
man.
people, man.
But there are quite a few people who are on your side, man. I mean, some of them are saying that you're talking sense. Some of them are saying it's very, very clear what it is you're saying. Yeah, some of them are saying that Brent doesn't let you talk.
Yeah, you were pissing. There was someone else you were pissing off. He was so annoyed at you.
Sorry.
If this wasn't your platform,
I would do better. I'll do better.
if this wasn't your platform, Brent, he would have called for your resignation.
I'm sorry. That's why I made it up by putting up some tributes to Emmanuel's points to balance it out.
Balance.
No, big up everybody, man. This is what we care about, the conversation, man. You don't have to agree with whoever in it, just converse.
You tell yourself that.
Yeah, no, it's true, man.
Spend an hour trying to convert people
to,
Badeism.
Try.
And I think she's gonna disappoint him.
Hey.
She's gonna disappoint him.
Brent,
She's what?
of course she's gonna disappoint you. Like,
Oh my goodness.
worse than Kanye.
Because it's closer to home.
Think about the things she said already. The only way is further down in the depths.
The pace.
Nah. Anyway.
Yes. All right, let's wrap it up there.
Please.
All right, people. So our next set of headlines. Plans to tackle the national security threat of people smugglers will receive an extra £75 million and a new team of detectives. This is what Keir Starmer will announce today. In the latest move to curb small boats in the Channel, the Prime Minister is expected to address irregular migration at 2 events this week, and amid concern within Number 10 that the government must offer a viable alternative to the Conservatives' defunct Rwanda scheme. Another thing I didn't agree with, by the way. But anyway, in a speech at the Interpol General Assembly in Glasgow on Monday, he will say that the government will double fund to 150 million pounds for the Border Security Command, which is the enforcement agency launched by the Labour government this summer. The money will be used to fund high-tech surveillance equipment and 100 specialist investigators who will target criminals engaged in people smuggling. He will tell dignitaries and senior police from nearly 200 countries that the international community must tackle people smuggling gangs with the same tactics used to stop terrorism. So this is what we should be hearing today from Keir Starmer. Next headline, and our UK Foreign Secretary David Lammy, talking of the black man, has said the concept of reparations for former colonial nations affected by slavery is not about the transfer of cash. Woo! Great man. In his first comments since 56 Commonwealth leaders in October signed a joint letter saying the time has come for a conversation about reparations, Lammy was speaking to the BBC and told them that this was not the debate people are wanting to have. He also said, speaking in Nigeria, by the way, he said, I'm keen to emphasize that there's a sort of simplistic press debate in part of the media that thinks that this is about the transfer of cash. Man. See, obviously he's in Nigeria at the moment trying to develop relations with the continent based on the sharing of skills and science, right? That's why he's over there. But he also said it's not about the transfer of cash, particularly at a time of a cost of living crisis around much of the globe and certainly in the UK. This is not the debate I think that people are wanting to have. They are wanting to think about the future. Speaking in Lagos, which is the Nigerian port city once central to the transatlantic slave trade, during his first visit to Africa as Foreign Secretary, David Lammy said it was right the UK had previously apologised for its role in slavery. Lammy acknowledged that Caribbean nations had made a 10-point plan for reparatory justice, but he said he believed developing nations would benefit as part of that through things such as the transfer of technical skills and science expertise from the UK. So not cash, he wants skills and science to be learned from the UK instead. Big up Diane Abbott though. Again, I saw a clip recently where she was talking about reparations and saying that's something that we should have, and how white people like to say, oh, it's the past, colonial legacies in the past, this, that, and the third. But at the same time, obviously a lot of us are not privy to this, but in their rituals, in their whatever they do, they're all doing things that's based on the past, you know what I'm saying? So why can't we get our reparations? So bigger up every time. Next headline, trigger warning on this one. This is a diabolical trigger warning, guys, man. A man has been arrested after a woman was raped in the grounds of Hereford Cathedral in the early hours of Sunday morning. West Mercia police say, can you imagine?
No. First of all, I can. Could you say cathedral like the church ever stopped finishing such stupid crimes?
It's sad, man. It's sad.
It's crazy.
Yeah, but these officers received a report that a woman had been raped at around 4:30 in the morning on Sunday and attended the scene. The 24-year-old man was arrested on suspicion of rape and remains in police custody.
That's okay.
There's an increased police presence in that area in Hereford after the incident, although there is no wider risk to the public. This according to the Detective Inspector Colin Berry from the force. He said, following the review of CCTV footage, there are people passing through the area around the time of the incident that we would like to speak to. What are they doing around at 4:30 in the morning? Anyway, anyone who was in the area around the time of the incident has been asked to come forward. Meanwhile, the victim is currently being supported by specially trained officers. Sad, man. But that's it for our headlines, guys. It's time to pay them bills.
All right, let's get into some Word on Road.
Yeah, not in money though, in skills. Yeah. So our taxes will pay those people to train. It's a joke thing. Brent. So yeah, he's not moving for it like it seems.
Okay.
Sorry.
I went, sure. This just in, actually, very sad news. Quincy Jones has passed away. Yeah, man, at the age of 91.
The legend.
He died while he was at home in Bel Air, California, and his family have given a statement to the press, and they said tonight, so he died yesterday. Tonight, with full but broken hearts, we must share the news of our father and brother Quincy Jones passing. And although this is an incredible loss for our family, we celebrate the great life he lived and know there will never be another like him. He is truly one of a kind, and we will miss him dearly. We take comfort and immense pride in knowing that the love and joy that were the essence of his being was shared with the world through all that he created. Through his music and his boundless love, Quincy Jones's heart will beat for eternity. So R.I.P. to him, man. Absolute legend.
R.I.P., man.
70 years in the music business is truly something. So R.I.P. to him. Hold on, what's next on my list, child? Oh, Miracle Watts and Tyler Lepley, I believe his last name, how you pronounce it, are engaged, which is really lovely. They've got a child together. I think he's one of the jokers that said something about not being ready for marriage. I think there was a whole thing about them. I can't remember what it was. But congratulations to them. They shared on Instagram that they are engaged, which is obviously very, very nice. Yeah, man. Lil Wayne had... it's on Prime. So Lil Louisiana Fest. Right, it's very creative. So obviously on Prime or whatever, and it talks about, he was performing. He has a festival, was performing, whatever. First of all, he got the key to the city thing. Got the keys to the city of New Orleans, obviously, which is very, very nice. And also the 6th and the 7th of February are going to be Lil Wayne Day. Nice.
I've been seeing some clips of his performance online.
No, wait for it. Just wait. You hold that thought for me right there. Because during his said performance, he talked about how he felt that the Super Bowl was ripped away.
Ripped.
You used to rip something.
Like it was in his hand. And it was removed from him. I give it to somebody else. Then I saw some clips.
Humping the mic.
No,
he was humping the mic.
I'm serious.
It was air humping the mic.
I didn't see that clip.
That clip is out there. So yeah, he says that the Super Bowl was ripped away from me, but this MFing moment right here, they can't take that. A lot of people, that's kind of what you did this morning about the situation. This moment here, they can't take this, but he felt like that was ripped from him. That's very, very sweet. Obviously, the people were talking about why didn't he feel like it was ripped from him back in 2013 when the Super Bowl was over there? But then people were like, oh, well, Jay-Z wasn't there. Then it's like, okay, so because the black man's in there now, there's entitlement that the black man must give you. Now, okay, that's great. Anyway, as Brent said, there's clips surfacing of his performance.
They put it side by side with like Kendrick's.
People are so rude. Do you know what it is like? It's just like, I don't know. What is Lil Wayne on? What isn't he on? That's a quick list. It's just, yeah, man. Like, I always said I couldn't see him performing. I just think that, okay, yes, it's a black man there. Yes, he's opening doors for hip hop and stuff, but surely it must be presentable hip hop. Do you get what I mean? Anyway, I don't think that Lil Wayne performing at the Super Bowl would have done what people are assuming that it does for them when they listen to him on YouTube in their bedroom. So there's just that. But anyway, he feels it was ripped. Ripped is a deep word. It was ripped away from him. So light and love to Lil Wayne.
And they say he wanted to do it for his mama.
Yeah. People bring up their parents. Anyway. People bring up their mums and stuff and just think that because you've done that, it holds weight. It don't. It doesn't. Everybody got one. It doesn't. Yeah. Okay. So, but yeah, he said he was wanting his mum to see him perform there, and Like auntie, God forbid auntie dies anytime soon, innit? But don't move as though this is like, and they're not gonna get it just because you promised it to your mum, or whatever the case is. Anyway, speaking of which, Cenat, I think this is actually very lovely. So he's doing a Mafiathon. He's doing a marathon where, you know, he's a streamer, but for the whole of November, he's going to be streaming 30 days. I wonder what the longest streaming has ever been. He should go for the world record.
Wait, you say 30 days?
30 days throughout November. Wow. 30 days throughout November, he's going to be streaming. It was actually really cool. He had a whole ad for it, and Kim Kardashian was in there playing the therapist or something.
Oh, wow.
Like, you guys, he's proper famous. Like, all of them, at this point, it's so interesting what he's done with it. Because you got all these celebrities now that want to be a part of what, because that's the way to get through. I mean, he tries to get through to me. I wouldn't hear the message because I don't watch the man. But yeah, so basically what I thought was really, really cool, what I'm reporting actually, is that he's pledged 20% of all revenue will be going to him to a school in Nigeria.
Oh, wow.
So it says that 20% of all income he generates from this event will support a school project for children in Mokoko in Nigeria. So it says, I visited Nigeria not too long ago and I absolutely loved it. I say that to say this, for the next 30 days while I'm streaming, 20% of all revenue will be going straight to the school that I'm still currently building for the kids of Mokoko. So he's basically building a school in Nigeria, which I think is really, really cool. Obviously, there's been like, there's views online, man, as there is, man. But yeah, so...
yeah, because, sorry to cut you, because I heard, I saw a clip of somebody from the Hebrew Israelite community criticizing him, basically saying this guy's a Caribbean guy, because basically in I don't say all, but in a lot of the different schools in Hebrew Israelite theology, they really don't like Africans. You know what I'm saying? They're black people, but they don't like Africans. They see us obviously as Hamites and there's Shemites, and obviously the history in the Bible, this and the third. And obviously they also believe in a 12 tribe chart, which is basically a chart that speaks about people in the Caribbean all being descendants of the original Hebrews, including the Americas, Dominican Republic, and things of that nature. So he sees him as obviously somebody who's originally a Hebrew because he's West Indian. Yeah.
Okay.
So why are you doing something for Africans? Basically, that's basically the logic.
So this person, he only gives charity to these people.
Yeah.
That's good for him. But I don't know why he's in someone else's business. he didn't come to ask you to help donate. So what's your actual... Do you know there's a lot of joblessness in the streets?
And it's his money as well, isn't it?
It's his money.
Imagine. And he doesn't
like,
subscribe to your belief system.
Like, what's your actual own? Like, exactly, he doesn't subscribe to what you believe in.
Wow.
Jobless.
Good morning, welcome.
Who's this?
I don't know what the person's name is, but it says welcome.
Good morning. Can you hear me well?
We can hear you.
Yes. How are you?
Good morning. Sorry, I'm kind of sort of new to this. I'm on this sort of discourse thing, sort of trying to work out how everything. I'm kind of tuned into your sort of set. I've really been enjoying the show, to be fair. I kind of came across your show and I've been watching tuning in, so I really appreciate that.
Oh, thank you,
man. Thank you.
Yeah, no worries. And I'm not sure if I don't want to mess up the flow of how you're doing, because I want to trying to get back into call in about the Kemi. I can't pronounce her last
Badenoch.
name. Badenoch. Yeah, I wanted to kind of chime in with that as well.
No, you can tell us. You were so polite.
My little.
Hopefully you're on Emmanuel's side.
Yeah. By the way, happy birthday, man.
Thank you, man. Appreciate you. Appreciate you.
Good start.
Thank you, man.
Listen, whether I'm on Iman's side or not, I don't really sort of know as well. I think with me, with this type of things, it's just so up in the air. There's so much information out there which I do find myself bombarded with. And I think I'm a trainee therapist at the moment as well. So I'm training to be a therapist.
Nice.
And but there's one thing that you did mention about how, the impact of Barack Obama. I remember watching that election. I had no idea what Barack Obama's policies were, but the idea that the fact that he was quote unquote black man and, being the first, president for America, that was big. Yeah. And then, a couple months ago, I was working in a school, and I think what you were saying, Iman, how, what it represents. Listen, whether or not her policies or not, I like to think that these young kids will look at someone like Kemi and be like, hey, that's a black woman in some sort of high power. I can achieve that.
Yeah.
I don't know her sort of policies or not. I don't know much about politics. I remember in our school, I was working in year 6, and the kids done a manifesto. And there's one kid, I remember Lafani, who was a black, black young boy, and I remember saying I think he will become a great prime minister, and just to show him that he can as well, but then also to probably say yes, Kemi's a lady, but she's a black Nigerian woman. That I feel like maybe someone like Lufani, as he gets older, he could be like, yeah, I can be in that sort of positions. But I think that's something that I really wanted. I get the whole representation thing, whereby, sorry, I have my son in the background, but I think it is that. 1 minute, bro.
I love kids so much, you know.
I got my kid and my cat as well, so it's just all of it. I'm operating in this fatherhood mode at the moment as well. Nevertheless, I just think that I want to, after listening to today's conversation, I think I'm going to do my own sort of research, and I heard she's part of the Tory sort of party kind of thing. For me, I think this is all a proper contest with me, but I think I'm talking from the outside looking in. I think my political identity sort of grew the last couple of months. It's actually when the kids did the manifesto, I kind of felt inspired by that as well. Yeah, so I was like, oh, let me actually find my political sort of identity. And this sort of election, I can't remember. This is so embarrassing. Is it there was another guy that I liked. He was the funny guy. You know, it was Keir Starmer, and there was another funny dude. He was talking about in the River Thames. He fell in the River Thames, and he was talking about how we have to clean the River Thames. I'm not sure. It was like I can't remember his name. I do apologize. I think that's not really good. I should have got prepared. But nevertheless, I do think that my political identity started to grow. But I just wanted to speak about what could Kemi, what's her last name again?
Badenoch
could sort of represent for the young generation as well. That is because I remember Barack Obama being like, oh, that's the first black president. That's sort of cool. And I had no idea about his policies at all. So yeah, that's what I wanted to chime in with.
Thank you, man. That's pretty much what I'm saying, man. I appreciate that, man.
Thank you, Han.
Yeah.
Keep tuning in, man. Big up your son as well.
Keep doing what you're doing. Sorry?
I said keep tuning in and big up your son as well.
Oh, thank you very much. Yeah, I appreciate it. And oh, yes, funny enough, sorry, as well. I live with my parents, my missus' parents, and we managed to afford a private school for our first son. Wow. So I have my second son here.
Amazing.
So my son just started school, and we decided for him to go to a private school because what Iman kind of sort of attributed that you have 10 kids in a class. So Caspar, my first son, has like probably 9 kids in his class, and I think especially because he's diabetic as well. So I think there's so much onus on being so much attention on him, which I really sort of appreciate. Where the school that I worked at was a 4th form entry with a minimum at 23 kids in a 4th form entry, and especially with the defunding of like schools and TAs, because I was a 1-to-1 TA, right? And I think that the lack of support for kids and the rise of SEN kids, I think it's such a big ask that I thought, now, okay, I have to move away and be like a dad. And I spoke to my missus and be like, what are we doing with our son? And I think that if Caspar went to that school, I think he would have just been lost. And kids are, I have a boy who's very boisterous. He's learning about his manhood in some sort of regard. And I think if kids like Caspar, what my son is, if he did something wrong, they'll be like, oh, that's probably his diabetes, when that could not be his diabetes, or it could be his diabetes. But then because you have to manage other kids as well that has needs as well, you kind of probably can disregard a Caspar or any other kid as well. So I think that's sort of underfunded. I didn't want to put Caspar in that sort of situation. So therefore, I think sending him to, yes, it's money, because my missus is studying to be, she's a PhD student. I'm studying to become a therapist. But like at the same I wanted to be very in tune with my son's education, and I think this is the best that I can do for my son, not in this big 4th form entry. And I think that's way too much as well for so many kids, because I saw so many kids get lost in that as well, which really broke my heart as well. And as a 1-to-1 TA, there's so much that you can do. Bear in mind, I was a 1-to-1 TA, so I was looking after a particular kid. Certain classrooms, they don't have a TA. So it's tough, man. It's such a tough ask, and I think the government should be looking at the next sort of generation as well, because we're doing them such a disservice. Like I'm going to the road of therapy, and that's a little mental health. That's great, but we might have a session for an hour or so. But you go out to this big wide world where you predominantly spend your time in schools. What are we teaching our kids? Who's supporting our kids as well? And these teachers are grafted. I worked with some fantastic teachers, but do you know what's happening now? All the schools are becoming an academy. So I had one of the guy come into our school and look at the boards, but instead of talking to the teachers, how can I really improve the school? For me to find out that we actually pay him, he doesn't even put money into the school.
Yeah.
Crazy, man.
Yeah, you see?
That's crazy.
Man.
Yeah.
Right, I'll let you go off, but
yeah, your phone call is amazing. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, man.
Big up you, man.
Thank you very much.
And please call back again, yeah?
Oh, most definitely. I will do. 100%.
All right, lovely. Have a great day.
The salient point I took
you
away
too.
from that
Bye-bye.
is that he was saying that the Conservative government had defunded schooling, so he went to private schools.
I didn't hear the first part, sorry, man.
Under the Conservative government, they defunded schools, so he's had to go private education. That's good stuff, man. I hear you, bro.
Anyway.
Good morning. Good morning, Kofi.
Hello, good morning. Can you hear me?
We can. How are you?
Hello, I'm fine, thank you. Thank you. I hope you had a good weekend. Happy birthday, man.
Thank you, man. Appreciate you. Thank you, man.
Yeah, so just a couple of points. Firstly, on Kemi, look, I'm not a big fan of her policies or what she's done previously. And to be fair, I don't think she really. I don't say she cares for the black vote. I just think she's her own woman. However, I don't respect what Dawn Butler did. Say, she's white. She's a white supremacist. Just because you're conservative doesn't make you a white supremacist or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
exactly.
I don't like that. I'm not conservative myself, but I don't like that narrative because it means you just pigeonhole all of us, and it says that we don't have any diverse opinions. Yeah. Even though I'm not a big fan of hers, I don't think that's fair. Yeah. I don't respect Dawn Butler doing that. So there's that. On the Labour policies, like the budget.
Yeah.
I personally wasn't surprised by it because I knew Labour were going to do a tax and spend. That's what they are. When they try and say we're going to lower taxes, I don't. They're not going to do it. They're tax and spend policies.
Yeah.
And in particular, the stamp duty one. I know you've gone to it a couple of times.
Yeah.
From what I've heard, I think Conservatives were already going to reverse that policy anyway. So I know they recently moved up to 425 for second home buyers and 45 for first time buyers and 300k for second time buyers, and that was done recently. And I think the reason they did that was to hopefully generate people buying more properties and get into the housing ladder. However, what I actually think happened is that because of the previous Conservative policies where the high interest rates meant mortgages have gone up, and then just the low wages stagnation has meant people haven't been able to save enough for deposits. Not enough people have bought properties. So it hasn't really helped anything, to be honest. So, and what's actually happened is that more people who are selling their homes, instead of reducing their prices because the stamp duty is meaning that people will find it difficult to get into the property ladder, because the stamp duty taxes have risen, threshold had rise to 45. They're like, well, I can sell for 45, and people don't have to worry about stamp duties, so I can keep my properties up, prices up. So I think what they were trying to help generate house buying, but it hasn't helped. So I think with Labour, I think they just thought, well, it's not really working. People aren't buying properties, and the Conservatives were already going to, from what I've heard, they're already going to reverse this and bring back down the thresholds. We'll just leave it as it is and let go with what the Conservatives were going to do. Anyway, so that's why.
Sorry,
you're gone.
No, I was just going to say, I hear you on that, but again, we don't know for sure. They may have changed certain things, right? And also, what Labour's done now, I think has made it even more difficult. So like you said, even if I did keep my property at 425, because I now know that capital gains has gone up, I may increase the property, the asking price of my house now, because I'm going to take home less. You know what I'm saying? So it just doesn't help. It doesn't help. We might get a small spike into the new year prior to April when the changes come in, but besides that, I just don't see how it helps.
To be fair, it's a tricky one. It's a tricky one, but I've just bought a property myself.
Big up, congrats, man.
Yeah, thank you. But it's meant I've got because of the house prices. Let me go back. When remember when Chris Quetting did his budget?
Yeah.
Yeah, a fellow Ghanaian, and then talking about supporting black people. I was supporting Cressy, and then he ruined the budget, and I thought, they're all the same. But anyway, because of that budget, it meant that interest rates rose, and it meant the mortgage costs effectively increased.
Yeah.
So and if you went and looked at properties, loads of people, the house prices weren't dropping. So it meant that people like me had to sort of move out to like areas like Chelmsford to buy a property and to pay the stamp duty, because I have a property in my name, but it's not a property I bought, but it's passed down by family.
Okay.
But it meant the stamp duty, you had to pay more for the stamp duty. So the Conservatives lowering the threshold did kind of help, but from what I saw, a lot of people weren't buying properties just because of wage stagnation.
Yes.
And
the other factors basically that make it hard just to live. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's why I feel like Labour were like, okay, look, people still aren't buying properties, and what we really need to do is improve wage stagnation.
Yeah.
And if people aren't buying properties, and the ones that do, they can get a ladder, we need to get some tax out of it. And so that's why I think they're going with that policy. It is tough, but that's the reason why I feel they're going with the policy. Yeah, so, yeah.
I hear it. I mean, I know it may not sound like this, but I'm rooting for her, man. You know what I'm saying? Because, again, all of us are going to be affected by this. If she can turn this around and it betters our lives, then beautiful. I just don't think it will. You know
we have to wait and see.
So we'll see.
We have to wait and see.
Yeah, man.
But let me come off. But happy birthday, man.
Thank you, man.
wish
Appreciate
you
it.
all well.
Thank you, man.
No worries,
Thank
man.
you.
Take care. Bye.
Bye. You can go, by the way. Me and Brent just finish up this time.
Okay, 5 minutes. I want to hear the rest of the.
Yeah. So this is still Wedding Road. Wedding Road. Okay, so lastly, you see this industry, yeah. So basically, let me give you guys some context. So Keith, who was a former member of Free Shots, who is also known as Mr. Exposed, basically exposed his truths about the drama that happened with trademarking the Receipts podcast. So just a bit of context for anyone who doesn't know. Big up the Receipts podcast. Currently, Audrey and Tolly, the girls are doing what the girls need to do. Love them down. And so the Receipts started up with 4 members: Milena, Phoebe, Audrey, and Tolly, right? And at the time, their introduction to us, we knew Taser had put them together.
Yeah.
Interestingly, anyway, with the story of how they came together, that's just been different over the years. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But the concept, Taser's always featured in the story. Basically, that it was his idea. He wanted like a female version of Free Shots. Basically, brought the idea together. Blah 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 blah. So there's 4. Basically, so essentially, I think it was a couple of years ago where there was a whole thing that basically came out on the blogs that the Receipts podcast had been trademarked by Keith. So it was a whole like drama thing or whatever. I feel like before then, I don't think people ever thought there was like an issue between them. But obviously after that, rightfully so, there'll be some kind of issue. So anyway, over the weekend, so the thing, obviously, Keith's name was the one that was attached to said trademark. And the general idea was that Taser didn't have a clue, and Keith basically did that on his lonesome, right? But anyways, over this weekend, I'm not reading out all his screenshots. It's a lot. But basically, over the weekend, before the weekend, Taser was on the Receipts podcast, but not like a general podcast. It's the Cashiers, I believe they call it, which is their Patreon exclusive podcast.
Okay.
And they put a trailer and whatever. So in that, they talk about obviously this big thing that people knew happened and just how it affected their relationships or whatever else. Cool. Keith obviously was not happy about that because he felt that, this is what he said, he felt that Taser went on there and basically essentially threw him under the bus. But he was like, yeah, but you knew that I did that. So he basically decided to post on socials that that all that stuff happened. Basically, Taser felt slighted about the way the girls had worked, or that they'd pushed him out, or whatever the case might be. And so he was complaining to Keith and Marv about it, but he said he then later realized that he never complained to the girls about it. He was just complaining to his 2 boys about it. Yeah. And then essentially, Keith then decided to trademark the name. And he's claiming that he doesn't understand why Taser's acting like he doesn't know about it, because when he did it, he told Taser that he did it. Basically. Okay. That's basically long and short of it.
But he hasn't proved this, though. He's saying...
He said he has receipts if it's called upon. I don't like when people post things and they say, if needed, I have receipts. I think he just post it all. Like, I hate that. Once we move from this, we're moving on from this, babes. No one's doubling back. Look at when... No, actually. Look at when Tigo put out receipts, like, after the fact. No one cares now. Everyone's moved on. Now receipts have been formed. It is what it is. So, yeah, so basically, he was basically just saying that. But it was interesting, though. My take on it. It was interesting because he was just like, oh, me and Taser aren't friends. And I think that how it comes across as if, like, he's not cool with Taser. And obviously, he's not cool with receipts. He said he has no issues with receipts, but they're not cool with him, at least. But it feels as though, like, your enemy's linking up and you don't understand and you don't like that. And so now here we are, kind of thing. Because I think, from what he said anyway, he is the one that did it. He's not saying that Taser told him to do it, but he's saying that when I did it, I informed Taser that I did it. Okay. But I feel like for me, that's very different. I feel like it would have been crazier had he said that Taser asked him to do it. But you still did it by yourself. Yeah. So either way, it's still a weird and crazy thing that you did. Like, do you get me? Like, you did something, and then after the fact, you then told the person that I did this, and he's also coming across as if, like, on a next time I'm mind my business kind of thing. But your friend was just ranting. Damn. Like, if I ran about a guy, I'd ask my friend to go and kill the guy. Like, what? That's extreme. So it's just like, I don't know. I mean, he is taking some kind of accountability for him doing that, but his annoyance more is just that, don't you dare sit there and act as though you didn't know about it and then try and make me look like the crazy. And then also he mentioned that he's sat on, like, I guess he's sat on this bad boy information for a while. But it's just like, why now then? I don't know. I don't think people take accountability enough for the things that they do. Because obviously Keith has this whole thing from years ago that he gets cooked about, like, someone somewhere has a timer on their watch, on their phone, and every 3 months they decide to bring it back up. But the whole thing about him talking about black women and whatever, and then saying it's a social experiment. So it's just like, when do you do things because you want to do it? I don't know, but that's basically what's happening on that front. Yeah, that's basically what's happening on that front. That's the long and short of what he put out. He swore on his mum something. It's just now he's talking bringing mums into things, but he swore on his mum that. But I think anyway, like I said, in what was that? Well, Lil Wayne, yeah, retweet. So yeah, see you later. Have a nice birthday. That's basically the long and short of it. He's just come out and talk about all of that stuff. Taser hasn't addressed it. Taser doesn't give me the energy of someone that will address it. I think Taser's just minding his, living his best life. I feel like if you've made, like, obviously he and Tolly and Audrey are cool now, so it's just like there's no point. I just don't think there's any point, like, just bringing all of this up again. But yeah, man, that was it, really. That was it.
Last headline?
Yes, please. Yeah, what a day. All right, last headlines for today. A police officer has been arrested on suspicion of dangerous driving after a man was hospitalized and left in a life-threatening condition after being hit by a car. The crash occurred in Rochdale, Greater Manchester, at about 11 p.m. on Friday, with the victim, a 42-year-old man, being hit while crossing the road. Greater Manchester Police, GMP, confirmed on Sunday evening that an off-duty officer with the force had been arrested on suspicion of causing serious injury by dangerous driving. 2 of the cars suspected to have been involved in the collision in Yorkshire Street were a blue Mercedes and a silver Mini Cooper, police have said. The incident was referred to the force's Professional Standards Directorate, which is reviewing the case. Detectives are continuing to ask for witnesses and are urging anyone who may have information about the incident to contact GMP. The off-duty officer has been bailed pending further inquiries as the investigation continues, the force added. Next headline, the government could miss its own, is it cladding? Cladding or cladding? CLADDING. It's cladding.
Cladding?
Cladding? Okay.
What's the context of it?
So the government could miss its own cladding removal completion date.
Yeah, I think it could be cladding.
Okay, let's go with cladding. The government could miss its own cladding removal completion date if progress is not made to speed up the process, the UK spending watchdog has said. In a new report, the National Audit Office, NAO, said up to 60% of buildings with dangerous cladding, yeah, sounds about right, 60% of buildings with dangerous cladding had still not been identified by the government, and at its current rate of progress, it was due to miss its own estimated completion date of 2035 for the works. The report follows the conclusion of the Grenfell inquiry in September, which found risks had been ignored and there was systematic dishonesty from those who made and saw the cladding involved in the fire in West London in 2017, in which 72 people died. The report assessed how fast the Ministry of Housing, Communities and Local Government, MHCLG, was completing work to replace dangerous cladding from tower blocks in England and aimed to provide an update to a previous NAO report in 2020. It found there had been a substantial increase in remediation activity. Remediation, thank you very much. Remediation activity since then, with 4,771 buildings taller than 11 metres being brought under the government's remedial works scheme as of August. However, an estimated 7,200 more buildings in England with more cladding still had not been identified, and some may never, the NAO continued. Progress with replacing the cladding was also slow, it found. The government has since been contacted for a response. And our last headline takes us to Nigeria. So 29 children could be facing the death penalty in Nigeria after they were arraigned Friday for participating in a protest against the government's record cost of living crisis. 4 of them collapsed in court due to exhaustion before they entered a plea. A total of 76 protesters were charged with 10 felony counts, including treason, destruction of property, public disturbance and mutiny, according to the charge sheet seen by the Associated Press. According to the charge sheet, the minors range in age from 14 to 17 years old. Frustration over the cost of living crisis has led to several mass protests in recent months. In August, at least 20 people were shot dead and hundreds more were arrested at a protest demanding better opportunities and jobs for young people. The death sentence was introduced in the 1970s in Nigeria, but there have been no executions in the country since 2016. Akintayo Balogun, a private lawyer based in Abuja, said the Child Rights Act does not allow any child to be subject to criminal proceedings and sentenced to death. So taking minors before a federal high court is wrong, except if the government is able to prove that the boys are all above 19 years old, Balogun said. The court eventually granted 10 million naira, which is $5,900, bail to each of the defendants and imposed stringent conditions they are yet to meet. Sachi said. Time to pay some more bills. Let's get into the reaction. I've only got results for you guys today. So on Saturday, we've got some games. In those games, the scores are as follows. Newcastle beat Arsenal 1-0. Bournemouth beat Manchester City 2-1. Ipswich Town and Leicester City drew 1. Liverpool beat Brighton and Hove Albion 2-1. Nottingham Forest beat West Ham United 3-0. Southampton beat Everton 1-0, and Wolverhampton Wanderers and Crystal Palace both drew at 2 points or 2 goals. And on Sunday, we had Tottenham Hotspur beat Aston Villa 4-1, and Manchester United and Chelsea drew 1. So, that's great. That is it. Should we wrap this up?
Mm-hmm. Cocaine Jane.
Who?
Cocaine Jane.
That's great. Kemi Badenoch has made history as the first black person, although that's not what's being highlighted anyway. Well, I guess she's the first black woman to lead a major political party in the UK. And then she was also the centre of our topic of the day, where Iman thought that on his birthday, the way to go was to not know why people hate Kemi Badenoch. Big up Iman on his birthday, of course. What else we talk about today? So today we talked about how Kamala Harris vows to end the Gaza war. Trump also said that RFK Jr. would have a big role in his administration. And of course, as we all know, the election in America is tomorrow. So love and light to the Americans. I guess Stacey will be back after that, depending on obviously what the results are. Spain's king and queen were pelted with mud following the flood that was in Valencia. Very, very sad, all that stuff. Keir Starmer is to create a team to tackle national security of the threat of people smugglers. We also talked about slavery reparations is not about transfer of cash. This is what David Lammy says. And there was a man who was arrested for raping a woman on cathedral grounds. I hope that he has the best life moving forward. Also, a police officer has been arrested after a car crash leaves a man in a life-threatening condition. It is very well. This happened in Manchester. And a Watchdog says that cladding removal deadline may be missed because they're working slow. And also, sadly, there are 29 children between the ages of 14 and 17 who may be sentenced to death for protesting against cost of living crisis in Nigeria, which is wild. But yeah, and then, Wordon Road. To Wordon Road today, I talked about Quincy Jones, who sadly passed away at the age of 91, and engagements. Miracle Watts and Tyler are engaged. Lil Wayne says that the Super Bowl performance was ripped right out of his hands. Also talked about Cenat and his goals or his project of building a school in Nigeria, which is really, really cool. And also Keith talking about the whole trademarking situation with the Receipts podcast. Yeah, that's it for the show today, isn't it?
I've heard about I've heard about the Edu news,
Who's Edu?
but I haven't read the article yet. Edu is
that football
Arsenal's,
stuff?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Sporting director. And apparently he is moving on to greener pastures.
What was the pastures he was on at the moment?
He's at Arsenal. He's at Arsenal, but
Oh, he's leaving y'all.
Yeah. But I haven't read the article. I'm not over that particular news just yet. So tomorrow,
get into
I'll
it.
speak on it. Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, thank you very much for everybody for turning up on this fantastic day, which is Emmanuel's birthday.
Absolutely.
We will celebrate his birthday properly tomorrow.
Speaking of the Receipts, I just seen that audio. They're going to Manchester. So if you're in Manchester,
yes,
it's a sweet little Christmas special. They're so gorgeous, man.
The most beautiful girls
check them
in
out.
the world.
They can never make me hate the Receipts, man. They can never You can never make me hate them.
Absolute beauts.
Love them down.
So get your tickets.
Get your tickets.
What was I saying? Oh, thank you for everybody who jumped on the Discord.
Yes, big up Ed, big up Christy, big up... Who else was there? The lovely guy. Yes. We didn't get his name, though.
No, we didn't.
His name is Welcome.
His name is Welcome.
And who else was there? Was someone else with...
Kofi.
Chijoke.
And
Kofi as well.
Yeah. More of the same tomorrow, please.
Absolutely.
Yeah, this show isn't the same without y'all. It really isn't. You see how Esther went quiet?
It isn't though. No, I was thinking about something else. I was thinking about something shade in my head. You don't want to. I will tell you the shade of it. I can't say it on there.
That's fine. I'm not gonna ask you because you might.
No, I'm gonna tell you anyway. So I'm gonna ask you. When have I ever needed you to ask me something to tell you?
Esther kept her word. She said she'll be done by 10:30.
It's 10:28, baby. 2 minutes to spare.
The person who asked, where is he?
Where is he?
Where is he?
Because we wanted to arguing about Kemi Badenoch.
Mm-hmm.
Kemi Badenoch, sorry.
Badenoch.
Yeah. So anyway, we will see you guys back here tomorrow. We are here every day.
Mm-hmm.
So make sure you tune in. Hopefully nothing crazy happens overnight.
Margs has been on a couple of projects.
Margs is working like a working man.
Like a working worker.
He is. Listen, Margs is making history.
He is making history.
He is creating an empire.
Yes.
And I love that from him. I'm so proud of him.
Yes. And it's not the same as me saying that Koi is on the project. In fact, she was on the project, to be honest.
Koi was really on the project. Big up Koi. It was Koi's birthday last week.
Yeah, she's stunning, isn't it?
Koi is gorgeous.
Stunning.
Like, absolutely gorgeous. And she's in Japan. Is it Japan? I think she's in Japan. And she's having a great time. She just looks so good, man. Big up Koi as well.
All the time.
It's Koi's birthday.
All the time.
But yeah.
Well, all right, thank you.
It's about to be 10:31 and I can have that.
See you tomorrow.
Bye.
All right.